I'm on a Royal Caribbean ship finally, and let me know how the audio is. There's a little bit of noise behind me, but hopefully, since I have my wireless mic on, that it'll be pretty good. I might jack it up a little bit though if you guys can't hear me, but let me know if you can hear me. Hey, Rich L's in the house. What's going on, man? How you doing? Greetings. So we're live from Enchantment of the Seas, and all right, loud and clear, awesome. So real quick, just for replay value, I'll give you a little recap of my solo cruise adventure so far. So I've been living on nothing but cruise ships since the 28th of January. I have been on 3 different cruise ships. I was on Princess's Sky Princess for 21 days. Then I went over to MSC Meraviglia and was on there for 11 days. And now I am on Royal Caribbean's Enchantment of the Seas, and I will be on here for 28 days. So I'll be on here for a while. I've already been on board 3 days. So this is my 3rd day. We're actually in Charleston right now. That's why I have a sweater on. It's kind of chilly down here. It's 66 degrees right now, I believe. And I'm outside. I'm actually near the pool area. I might switch to pointing this way. There's not a whole lot of people out there anyway. Yeah, you know what? Let's switch to pointing that way. It seems like a better view. So, there we go. So yeah, I'm on here on Enchantment of the Seas, and so far it's been great. Everything people ever said about, Royal Caribbean's customer service on board the ships has been great. I mean, couldn't be more impressed. I would put them right up there with Princess. Sorry, trying to get the technical stuff worked out here. I'd put them right up there with Princess so far. And obviously, for service on board, I put MSC a little bit below both of those. But right now, it's neck and neck for, 1-1 between Royal Caribbean and Princess experience-wise. Now, I was on a much newer Princess ship. I was on Sky Princess, which was launched in 2019. And this ship was launched in 1997. So it's hard to compare, like, those two ships, apples and apples. So I'm just trying to compare the experience, because obviously the Sky Princess is newer, the cabins are better, all that kind of stuff. So, I don't want to try to compare those two things. I don't want to try to compare their ships. I want to try to compare them overall. And same with MSC. I was on MSC Meraviglia, which was launched in 2016. So MSC Meraviglia, obviously much newer than this one. And that's a mega ship. This ship is much smaller, and it feels so much smaller. I mean, it's pretty long. I know that this ship, the middle of the ship was knocked out, and they added a big section, so they made this ship longer. And it's definitely a long ship, but it's thin. And so there's much less people on board, and I don't know, this is the kind of cruising I like. So I might do more older ships in the future. Eduardo says you must try Oasis class ships, and Quantum class definitely will. They're on the agenda. I'll be on an Oasis when I go over to Singapore, for sure. So I will be on some Oasis class ships, but those for a solo cruiser, Royal is so much more expensive until you get until you get 340 cruise days, to where you don't have to pay, double almost every cruise. They just don't have a lot of solo deals compared to other cruise lines. Like Princess, they have solo deals all the time. MSC obviously has solo deals, but Royal Caribbean, they're few and far between. So I'm just strategically picking Royal Caribbean cruises like this one out of Baltimore on the Enchantment of the Seas. It's an older ship, was relatively inexpensive compared to other Royal Caribbean ships, and that'll help me move up their rank structure, their cruise loyalty level faster. At the end of this cruise, I'll be Emerald. I'll have because I'm cruising solo, they give me double points, so I'll have 56 days. But that's a long way off 340 days, which I need to get the 50% reduction in solo supplement for Royal Caribbean. So I don't know how much Royal Caribbean I'll be on, but I definitely will when I go to Asia, because they sail out of Singapore, and it's actually pretty inexpensive relative to other cruise lines sailing on Symphony of the Seas out of Singapore. Okay, if you have any questions, make sure you type the word question in all caps before you type it out. Just lets me know that it's a question. If I miss your question, it's not on purpose. I'm on my phone here and it's much more difficult. We've got 93 people in the chat right now and only 33 thumbs up. If you don't mind smashing that thumbs up, it helps more people find the live stream. That would be amazing. Andrea's in the house. What's going on, Andrea? Okay, this is our new cruise channel at 30 to Wake Up. You know us as Rob and Jan Can Van. Oh, what's up, guys? You guys got a cruise channel. It's funny how, so for those that don't know, I've been YouTubing for 4 years now, traveling full-time for 4 years. Every year I traveled a different way. My first year I traveled country to country. I lived in a different country every 30 days. That's the genesis of the name of my channel, by the way. After that, COVID hit. I bought a van, started cruising around the United States in a van, did that for a year, sold my van, bought a plane ticket to Thailand, lived in Thailand for a year, motorcycled all around, lived in different cool condos. And then this year I'm traveling on nothing but cruise ships for a year. And it's interesting, my biggest audience obviously is my van life audience. That's when my channel exploded. And a lot of that audience did not watch any of the Thailand stuff, they just weren't interested. But many van lifers are also interested in cruising. So all of a sudden, some of my van life audience is coming back and refinding my channel with the cruise content, which has been really cool. Okay, let's see. I see a question in here from Anastasia 3939. How is the quality of internet on Enchantment? Is it worth the cost? So I did speed tests. If you follow my Instagram, which is also 30 to Wake Up, I posted a speed test. It wasn't that great. It was like 3 up and 2 down, or 3 down, 2 up, 4 down, 2 up, something like that. It wasn't that great. And I was really disappointed because they have Starlink on here. But honestly, it's actually been really good. So I don't know if those numbers, I don't know if speed test actually does a good job of testing Starlink, but it seems like it's been really good. We're in port in Charleston, South Carolina today, so I'm on my phone Wi-Fi, but it seems faster than that. It seems faster than any of the ships I've been on, and maybe it's just because it's a better connection. The ping rate was definitely lower compared to other ships I've been on, but the speeds were comparable, but it just seems so much faster. So it is expensive. Buy it before you get on board the ship. It's cheaper, but it is pretty expensive on here. Okay, I know I saw another question in here. How is the, oh, I already read that one. How is the quality of the internet? Gary said, or Gray Sample says, which of the 3 cruise lines you've been on so far had the best entertainment? So I've only been on this cruise ship for 3 days, so I can't really judge it. But I would probably say, at this point, I would probably say Princess. But I'm really enjoying this ship. I'm more about the live music, so that's what I consider entertainment. The shows have been great. They're pretty comparable across cruise lines, to be honest with you. MSCs were maybe a little bit weird, but they were okay. But I'd say they're pretty comparable, like the shows, the comedians, it's all pretty comparable across the lines. There was a really good female comedian on MSC that I really, really enjoyed, probably better than any comedian on any other ship. But I would say they're all very comparable. As far as live music goes, I think Princess and Royal do a really good job of almost constantly having places you can go and watch live music, where when I was on MSC Meraviglia, there'd be music for like 40 minutes and then like you couldn't find live music again for another 3 or 4 hours. It was really kind of annoying, to be honest with you. I expected more live music because they have the potential to have so much live music on there because they have all these different venues, like the pub. I would go to the pub and there'd be someone performing on guitar, but he'd only perform for 40 minutes. Like, there should be constant live music in a pub in the evening on a ship, in my opinion. But I would say, so for entertainment, I would say Princess and Royal right now are neck and neck, but I haven't been on Royal long enough. And remember, this ship is an old Royal ship. I was on a new Princess ship, Sky Princess, relatively new, and a new MSC ship, Meraviglia. Although Meraviglia is not super new, but 2016, as opposed to this ship, which is 1997. So, all right. Let's see. I just got a super chat. Haven't got one of those in a long time. Solo Cruising and More says, who I met, by the way, on MSC. Thanks for letting me say hi on your live stream last Sunday. I got some feedback. Happy cruising. I got some good feedback. Very cool. Hopefully you got some subscribers from that. If you haven't subscribed to Solo Cruising and More, she's a new cruise channel. Last time I checked, she had under 100 subscribers. So if you're on here, there's 129 people on here, and you haven't subscribed to her, go over to her channel, subscribe, help her get to that 100, which allows her to have, her own name in the title of her www.youtube.com/her YouTube name. Once you get to 100, you're allowed to do that. So try to get her up to 100. See if we can get her up to 100 today. Also, we're at 69 thumbs up, and as much as I appreciate that number, it'd be awesome to be at 100 since we have 132 people watching. The chat is going super quick. If I miss your question, please ask it again. I'm not being rude. It's just going so fast. Robin Jan says, hey Kevin, we have been full-time in our van for 18 months and loving it, and only other place to sleep other than the van is cruise. We are Diamond on Carnival. Very cool, very cool. I'm not anything on well, that's not true. I've done one Carnival cruise, and I was able to get it on my Carnival account. So I'm whatever their first level is. I am Platinum. The highest level I have at the moment is Princess, which I'm Platinum on right now. And at the end of my next Princess cruise, I will be Elite, which is their highest level. I'm super excited about that because that's free laundry. Although I won't send much of my merino wool out to laundry, but that's exciting. All right, 146 people in here. If you got any questions, let me know. Tesla guy says, good morning. I hope you're having a good time. Man, I'm living the dream. I get to travel full time. I'm having an amazing time. Angela says, that's what I love about you. You're always supportive of other channels. Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of help when I started. I still get a lot of help because I switch genres so much that I need help when I get to a new genre. Like, I was in the country to country genre, and when I went to van life genre, a bunch of people helped me out, like story chasing. Amber helped me out with getting a van life audience, and a bunch of other people. And when I went to Thailand, a bunch of the Thailand vloggers helped me out, like Chocolate Man in Thailand, helped me get an audience. And now that I'm on cruising, there's a bunch of cruisers out there helping me get an audience. Like Emma Cruises, she mentioned me a couple times, which has gotten me a ton of subscribers. And some of the other cruising channels out there. Let's Go Travel Tips, they've been amazing on their Facebook page. If you haven't joined Let's Go Travel Tips YouTube channel and their Facebook page, especially if you're into Princess, they do more than Princess, but they're like experts on Princess. And they've been invaluable for me with my Princess cruising. But yeah, and I saw Andrea Gold's on here. I know she's got to go to a bar mitzvah, but thanks for stopping by, Andrea, and saying hi. What ship are you on and where are you going? So I am on the Enchantment of the Seas. I'm on here for 28 days. I've already been on board 2 of those days. Today we're in Charleston, South Carolina. We're going down to the Bahamas, Grand Bahama, Nassau, and then we're coming back up to Baltimore, starting a 12-day cruise, which is going to go to a bunch of saints, St. Thomas, St. Kitts, a bunch of other saints. That's a 12-day cruise. And then we're coming back to Baltimore again, picking up a bunch of new folks. And then we're heading down to Perfect Day at Coco Cay and some other places I can't remember. So I'll get to go to Royal Caribbean's private island and do a little comparison of MSC's private island, which I adored. A lot of people took some of the things I said about MSC negative, and there are positives and negatives about every cruise line. Like, I think Princess's solo cruise program sucks, and MSC was much better. But there are some things MSC suck at, and so I don't sugarcoat them. Their beds suck, and their customer service isn't the best. But what they do have the best of, in my opinion, I haven't done all the other private islands yet, but in my opinion, what they do have the best of is the private island game, and that's because I'm looking for more of like a private island that is more of a nature reserve type of place and not an amusement park, which I hear Coco Cay is just kind of an amusement park. So we shall see. Nana Anna runs in the house. What's going on, Nana? Long time no see. Well, that's not true. I think I saw you in the last live stream and the one before. But man, Nana, thanks for the super chat. You've been a huge support of the channel. So you're like donating to morning coffee. So check this out. So they have a coffee package on here on Royal, but it doesn't include the Starbucks coffee. Like, what's the point of getting the coffee package if I can't have the Starbucks, if I can't have a white chocolate mocha, like a legit white chocolate mocha, Starbucks style. So I didn't get the coffee package, but I'm paying Starbucks prices, $6 a grande. They don't have venti, so. I did get the soda package for this 8-day cruise. I just wanted to try it out. They have those soda machines on here, those Coke machines where you can get like, I'm gonna move my camera this way so as not to put that guy in my shot. I don't wanna piss anybody off. And anyway, it gives you a nice view of the ocean, although I'm not as bright. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, the Starbucks isn't included in the coffee package, but I got the soda package. They have those soda machines on board where you can like press like Coke Zero and then get cherry vanilla, strawberry, orange vanilla. You can get all these different flavors. And I like fufu sodas just like I like that. And I hadn't had soda in a long time since I started cruising. And I don't think I want to drink any more soda, to be honest with you. But I figured I'd try the soda package out so I could speak intelligently about it. It's pretty cool. And you know how they keep, there's one thing I don't like about it. So they have these little things on the bottom, and that tells the soda machine that you're authorized to get soda. So people aren't sneaking soda. And then when you fill this thing up, it puts a timer on you, and you have an hour before you can fill up again. And that's probably to keep people from filling up other people's soda with their soda. But I didn't know that. And so I drank my soda with lunch, and I was like, okay, I'm going to walk around and let me grab another soda. And it said, you have 40 minutes left before you can refill. And I'm like, that's a bunch of BS, man. Paying for a soda package, I should be able to refill it as much as I want. But anyway, I get why they do it, so I can't dump my soda into somebody else's. But all right, thanks again for that super chat, and also for being a member. Nan on the Run's been a member for over a year or over 2 years. Like, I have a bunch of people who stuck with me during my health issues that I had and wasn't making very many videos. To channel membership, and I appreciate that. How's the food and service been so far? Asked Mav. Royal Caribbean's always been famous. Everything I've read about them, they've been famous for their service and food, and it's been great. Their buffet on this is an old ship, is a windjammer, but it's super small. But even though it's small, I just came off MSC, so I'm going to be comparing a lot of things to MSC, and then obviously Sky Princess. But MSC had this huge one, and they didn't have very much variety, and the food wasn't that great, and it didn't flow well. It was always big lines, and it was just a pain in the butt. On this ship, it's a small galley, it's a small buffet, but it flows well, and the food is very good. There's not a huge amount of choices, but the choices that they have is really good, and like something that sets them apart. Like, on another ship, you'll have corn dogs, and there'll be those ones that you can buy at like Schnucks or Piggly Wiggly, wherever you shop, and which is cool for kids, But on here, like yesterday, I noticed they had handmade corn dogs, like dipped in cornbread and then fried. And I hadn't had one of those in forever, since like some kind of fair or something. And so I tried one. It was super good. And they had crab cakes, and they don't have a ton of food, a ton of different choices, but what they do have is like top notch. And their desserts, again, it's a small little thing in the buffet, but they're phenomenal. And I'm trying to avoid desserts, but it's really hard on here because they're really good. Like, MSC had a lot of desserts, Princess has a lot of desserts, but the desserts on here are so much better than both those ships. The service, I would say it's right on par with Princess, which I kind of expected. Royal's kind of famous for their service. And then next to MSC, coming off an MSC ship onto here, it was like night and day. And I'm not talking about my stateroom steward. My stateroom steward on MSC was phenomenal. His service was great. He was telling me how he's trying to actually go work for Royal because they pay better, which made me tip him more than I normally. I always tip my stateroom steward separately on top of the gratuities. And I tipped him more per day than I've ever tipped a steward before, because I felt like he's overworked and underpaid. Not that all stateroom stewards aren't, they probably all are, but compared to the other ones I've had, he seemed a lot more overworked. Where was I going with that? I was going somewhere with that. But yeah, the customer service on here has been next level good. I no complaints. I'm super impressed. Okay, we've got 99 thumbs up. Come on, people. We got 200 people in this chat. You're telling me we can't get one more thumbs up for 100? Kevin, if I missed your question, make sure you type it again. Kevin, my chat moves really quick. Kevin, do you have to wait online for a buffet? So like I mentioned earlier, the way they have it set up is kind of like a round circle, and then they have all these nooks and crannies where buffets are. They have the salad bar separate from where the main food is, which really helps it flow better. And they have these little nooks, like on the, I want to say it's the, it is the starboard side, no, it's the port side of the ship. There's some seating along the side of the ship. Well, over there's a little bitty tiny buffet. And in the morning, they have a bunch of breakfast food there. And so they have that as well, that you can go over there and see what's over there. You might not even need to go anywhere if they have what you want. So it's just really smartly set up compared to the last ship I was on, which was MSC. And I was on Sky Princess, which has a huge buffet, amazing desserts. But I'll be honest with you, I think the food on here is a tad better. Although I would say both of them functioned very well and they both had good buffet food. But I would say on this old ship built in 1997, they're knocking it out the park. So I've been super impressed so far with Royal Caribbean. I can't imagine how great Royal Caribbean is on these big mega ships where they're really focused on customer service and things like that. Someone said 100,000 within 2 weeks. Man, I'm down to only getting like 20 subscribers a day. Man, it's going to be like a year again. It's all up and down. When I first started cruise content, I had one video that kind of blew up. It's got like 90,000 views, and that one got me a lot of subscribers. I know Emma Cruises mentioned me on her channel. That probably got me a ton. A few other people mentioned me on their channel. Let's Go Travel Tips has let me on their Facebook page. Again, you know, I can't thank them enough for doing that. They didn't have to. They could have said, no, you can't put your own content on here. I only put my princess-related content on there because that's what they're kind of famous for, but it was super generous of them to do that. So I encourage everyone to subscribe to them. Their content's good, obviously. Okay, what about stabilization and seasickness on your ships? So I was in the Navy for 20 years, Rob. If I got seasick on a cruise ship, man, they'd pull my Navy card. My Navy buddies would disown me. But I haven't gotten seasick on here. This ship is small, so it's probably going to move around a lot. We were off the coast of Virginia, and it was pretty big seas. I'd probably say 6-foot seas, and didn't even feel it. Yeah, for me, it's not an issue. I know some people get sick on cruise ships, but I don't know how they do. These things barely move. You know, maybe in some bigger seas. Maybe when I do like Antarctica or go to Iceland and stuff, I might. But yeah. Jackie Cirillo says, I just subscribed. Thanks, Jackie. Did you say you skipped the coffee package? Yeah, Chris, I skipped the coffee package because it doesn't come with the Starbucks. And like, if I can't get the white chocolate mocha, like, what's the point? Like, that's what I want. I want the white chocolate mocha, man. That's my favorite drink at Starbucks, and they have it on board here, and it tastes exactly the same. Actually, maybe a little better. Man, the chat is going so fast. If I miss your question, please ask it again. Hey, Maxine's in the house. I'll be back within an hour. I hope to catch you by then. You know me. These things always turn into marathons. Question: are you planning to try Holland America? Yeah, I'm definitely planning on trying Holland America. That'll probably be the Antarctic cruise I do, because they're like superior in that respect. Maybe Princess. So I just booked a ton of cruises, and let me tell you the full story. And I got to verify this with Princess. I still have it, but Princess is where I find the best deals, and I get so much onboard credit that I love booking with them anyway. When I was on board, I think I told you guys that the first Princess cruise I did, I put like 50 bucks in the casino. I lost it in like 5 seconds. And my next Princess cruise, they gave me $150 casino credit. I went to the casino. I played that whole 150. I was up and down, and it was, my casino, like how much I had pumped in the casino was going up and down, up and down, up and down. And then I hit a jackpot for $1,000, a little bit over $1,000. And I should have been smart and walked away with that, and at first I did. But later on in that cruise, I was like, hey, look, I made this $1,000. I hear about this casino stuff, like sometimes getting cruises. I'll just gamble that $1,000, and maybe I'll win more, and maybe I'll lose it all. Well, of course I lost it all, but it was like, it was like that fluctuating thing, up and down, up and down, up and down. And so it ended up looking like I did about like $4,000 in and out of the machine, right? Even though I didn't really lose anything, but 50 bucks total. I just lost what I won, right? And I didn't think much of it. And at the end of the cruise, they gave me a voucher for my next cruise to get $300 free play. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. Like, probably should have kept the $1,000. Well, a couple days ago, I got an email from Princess saying, hey, welcome to the Players Club. Book any inside cabin for $0 on almost every cruise, 20 days or less. And I stay in nothing but inside cabins anyway, so I started looking, and it was showing up, and it said in the email, like, you don't have to call the casino people, which is how you had to do it in the past. We're starting to transfer that all over to the website. So I went to the website, and tons of cruises showed up for $0. All I had to pay was the port fee, taxes, and I had to put a $200 deposit down, non-refundable. But that is given back to me as onboard credit, not casino credit, onboard credit. And so I canceled my Celebrity cruise because I only had a $100 deposit on it, and I booked a back-to-back Alaskan cruise that turns into a cruise that goes to New Zealand and goes to like all of the tropical islands down, on the way to New Zealand, Tahiti, Pago Pago, America Samoa. And then at the end of my Fire and Ice cruise, which is in May, that goes to Iceland and Norway, right? Ends in Southampton. I hop on Sky Princess. I'll be back on Sky, and I'll be on Sky for 40 days. I booked a comedians cruise, which I guess has a bunch of comedians and goes to some cool places in, I think, the Baltic. I did 4 cruises. It's all Mediterranean stuff. And then, no, that's it. No, I booked Regal Princess. I booked a 12-day on Regal that's doing a bunch of English Isles. So like Guernsey and a bunch of other English Isles, which I'm really excited about. And I was reading the offer, and it said you can only book 3. Well, it kept letting me book them for $0. So we'll see what happens with that. So after I paid gratuities, because I paid gratuities for all of them already, and after I paid the port fees and taxes, all of those cruises I booked average out to about $50 to $60 a night. And right now I'm eyeing booking the inaugural cruise on Sun Princess. While I can't get it for $0, I can get it for much cheaper right now. And then I can maybe book some back-to-back, so I might be on Sun Princess. And so I'm going to be on a lot of Princess. And the reason for that is they just give me the best deals. Like, MSC gives me some great deals, but they don't give me onboard credit. And Princess not only giving me those great deals, they give me onboard credit like crazy. And because I'm platinum, I get half off internet, so it's only $8 a day for internet. Like on here, I'm paying like $20 a day or something like that. And so, yeah, like I don't want to tell people to gamble, but I was talking, what's funny about this is, so I was on MSC, Meraviglia, and Para DJ was on there. And for those who don't know, Para DJ is a YouTube channel, and they travel a lot. They go on all kinds of cruises. And they were telling me how they've got a bunch of Princess cruises booked. And they play the casinos all the time. I'm not really a gambler, to be honest with you. But they play the casinos all the time. And they said they booked a bunch of Princess cruises that were $0 that they got an offer for. And I was like, man, I wish I would get that. I pumped $1,000 in there. on my last cruise, and it ended up being like 4,000 in and out of the machine, right? I had almost 4,000 points or whatever. That's per dollar through the machine or something. And you know, because I was winning some, losing some, winning some, losing some, and eventually lost all of it. Like that's what casinos do to you. But Para DJ was telling me about these. I'm like, damn, that's cool. And then like 2 days later, I got an email saying, hey, inside cabins $0 on cruises 20 days and less. And so there was just a ton of them. And they're still showing up that way. So like I just keep booking Princess cruises. And I kind of feel bad about it because I wanted to be on more cruise lines, but damn, if I can get cruises for only port fees and taxes and gratuities, like I can cruise for $60 a night on Princess, which is a line that I love, and I get a ton of onboard credit. So anyway, sorry to go off on a tangent there, but I've been booking a lot of Princess cruises. So I'm doing a 20-day Alaskan. After I get done with Europe in August, end of August, I'm going to fly home, hang out with my mom for a week, and then I'm going to Anchorage, and I'm going to be doing an Alaskan cruise for 21 days. After the Alaskan cruise, I stay on the same ship, and we go to New Zealand. And so yeah, so I've got a ton of Europe coming up, a ton of Mediterranean, Baltic Sea, all on Princess. And I'm going to be on some newer Princess ships, Sky Princess, which I've been on before, and Regal Princess. But I'll also be on Island Princess, Grand Princess over in the Pacific. So that's where we are. And then I get dropped off in New Zealand in mid-October. I'll fly to Thailand, get my driver's license renewed over there, and then probably hop on a bunch of Royal Caribbean cruises out of Singapore. So that's where we are. Sorry to go on this big long tangent. I'm gonna look for questions, but I'm on my phone. It's scrolling like a million miles a minute. So if you have any questions, make sure you ask them. We got 252 people in the live stream. We're at 161 likes. If you don't mind smashing that thumbs up, see if we can get us to 200 thumbs up. I think last live stream I got to 300, which was amazing. Okay, have you ever done a uncruise? They usually have smaller ships. I haven't, but that sounds amazing. What cruise line does that? We did back-to-back last summer for Alaska. Yeah, so I'm doing a 7 and a 14 day. I'm really doing back-to-back-to-back because the 14 is actually 2 cruises. So we go from Anchorage to Vancouver, Vancouver to Anchorage, Anchorage back to Vancouver, Vancouver to New Zealand. Stopping in Tahiti, Pago Pago, Hawaii, which will be great. That's, you know, kind of my home away from home. I was stationed there for a little bit over 10 years, but yeah. What's your opinion of cruise drink packages, and do you ever buy them? So, if you're talking about alcohol, for me it doesn't make sense. I do the math on almost all the cruises, and I would need to drink 6 alcoholic drinks a day to break even. And so if I want an alcoholic beverage, I just buy it. They're expensive on cruise ships, $8 to 12 bucks, $8 to 15 bucks if you get like a bourbon. I like the Blood and Orange, which is a bourbon drink, and they're usually closer to 15. But if you're not drinking 6 drinks a day, they don't make a lot of sense. I know cruise ships probably hate me saying that because that's like a big moneymaker for them, but I'm gonna go back this way where I'm a little bit brighter and just put my head where this guy is. So I do have a soda package on this cruise because they have the cool soda machines where you can like mix and match. Like I can get like Coke Zero with cherry and vanilla or cherry and orange, or you know, a bunch of wacky stuff, and they have Powerade in there and all this other stuff. So I got it on here just for this 8-day cruise. I'm not going to get it on the next 12-day or 8-day because I haven't drunk soda in a long time, and to be honest with you, I didn't miss it. And I don't think I'm going to get my money's worth, but I do have the soda package on Royal, and now I can speak intelligently about that. I think if you like soda, it's worth it. Jackie says, how can I convince my husband that I need to travel like you solo since he is not retired? I mean, just say, hey, you can obviously communicate with him every single day. You'll be able to do FaceTime and all that kind of stuff on board if you get the internet packages. And so just say, hey, we'll FaceTime every single night. Emma Cruises. Someone just put a link to Emma. Thank you. Is Emma in the house? All right, let's see. I am way behind on questions, so I'm going to do a question reset. How do you afford living on cruises? So, believe it or not, I started this YouTube channel 4 years ago, and at about the 2-year mark, it started making a decent amount of money, and it basically has funded my travels since 2 years ago. It did fall a lot when I got sick. I had to get some treatment for health issues. I'm all better now, thank God. And it's building back up, and it pays for most of my cruises, not all of them. I'm also retired military. I did 20 years in the United States Navy, so I draw a military pension because of that. And I have rental property. And I made a bunch of smart investments when I was young, and not smart, lucky. Made a bunch of lucky investments when I was young, and so. But YouTube pretty much funds my travels. I got a super chat from Fred's Model 3N. Can you tell me about your naval career? I was an RM1 from 82 to 92, San Diego, 3 Westpacks, awesome. I did 20 years. I was a YN. At the E8 level, not when you were in, but later on they made it where you could stay technical or go leadership pipeline like the other branches have. And so I went command senior chief and command master chief. So I was an aviation. I was on surface ships my whole career, up until I became a command senior chief and a command master chief, and then I was a command senior chief of Abraham Lincoln Battle Group, basically, strike fighter group, carrier strike group, and then I was the command master chief when I'm 89 of an F-18 squadron. So the first 12 of my years, I was a YN. I was an admin, human resources, that type of stuff. Although I pushed boots for 4 of those years too, so really only 8 years. And then the last 8 years of my career, I was in the leadership side of the equation. But thanks for the super chat. You didn't have to do that to ask that question. But thanks for your service, by the way. Are your upcoming itineraries printed anywhere? So I got to figure out a way to do that. I'm on Shipmate, but nobody has friended me on there. And you can see I basically am putting my cruises on there slowly but surely, which is an app. I don't know how much I'm going to do that in the future because it's starting to get a little creepy. In the other ways I have traveled over the last 4 years, you don't really run into people that know your channel, that know your YouTube. But on cruise ships, like, not anywhere near like Emma Cruises or Para DJ, but I'm starting to get recognized a lot on the cruise ships. And I've had a couple crazy stalkers in the past, and I don't know if I want to tell people where I'm going to be. But for right now, I will, until something crazy like that happens, as long as I don't get axe murdered or thrown overboard. Hey, we've got 191 thumbs up, 270 people in the chat. Can we make it 200 thumbs up, if you don't mind? All right, Box Van D's in the house. She says, how do you manage, if you haven't checked out Box Van D, amazing van life channel. She says, how do I manage the chat if it goes so fast? And what is the trick again? Thank you last night for gifting 10 members to my channel. So Box Van D, if you don't know, travels around in a box van. She's awesome. If you've seen the movie Nomadland, I think 100% that was based on D. But anyway, I won't go down that rabbit hole again. I went down it before. Last night I gifted a bunch of channel memberships to people watching her channel because Dee got me a lot of subscribers in van life, and so anything to pay it forward, I always do. So I just gifted a bunch. What's your shipmate name? I'm pretty sure I made it 30 in Wake Up. Can you speak of any interesting encounters with cruise ships while you were at sea in the military? So when you're on a Navy ship, other ships steer clear of you. They just get out of the way. At night, I've seen cruise ships at night because they're all lit up and we're dark. Like Navy ships don't stay lit up at night. The only thing they'll have on is their running lights, their port and starboard running lights, the red and green running lights, and their forward and stern light. And that's so other ships can see what angle they're pointed at. But they go completely dark. And so I've only seen cruise ships at night, really, because they steer clear of U.S. Navy ships. And they also, I was on aircraft carriers a lot towards the end of my career, and they definitely steer clear of aircraft carriers. And we steer clear of them because we want to fly planes. and you got, you don't want too many people around when you're doing flight ops on an aircraft carrier. So, do you still talk to Amber from Story Chasing? Lots of changes to her. Yeah, I watch her channel all the time. I haven't talked to Amber in a long time. I need to reach out to her, see how she's doing. I know her puppy died, which is super sad. And yeah, I need to reach out to her. I know she's doing the tiny home thing, which I think is really cool. Thanks, LV. Many YouTubers don't don't know what they're going to do. Sorry, I missed that. Sorry, the chat's moving so quickly. If you have another question, ask it. Let's see, question, what does pushing boots mean? Oh, it means I was a drill sergeant in Navy boot camp. In the Navy, we call them recruit division commanders now. When I went through boot camp in the Navy, they called them company commanders. In the other branches, they call them drill sergeants. So I usually just say drill sergeant because people know what that is because of the movies. Let's see. What ship am I on? I am currently on Enchantment of the Seas. Angela, thanks for the $5 super chat. You didn't ask a question, but if you have one or I missed it, someone let me know. I didn't catch which Royal Caribbean ship you're on. I'm on Enchantment of the Seas. I think it's their oldest ship. Maybe they have one more older, but it's pretty old. It's from 1997. I really like it. One of my big complaints about MSC Meraviglia is it's so dark and there's not a lot of connection with the ocean. And on this ship, it's the exact opposite. You're constantly connected to the ocean no matter where you are, except for my inside cabin, obviously. But no matter where I am on the ship, I'm pretty connected with the ocean. And I like that. I like being connected to the ocean, the water. We're in Charleston, South Carolina. That is a old Navy aircraft carrier right there. God, they're so much smaller than the ones now, the old ones. But yeah, that's here in Charleston. Hey, Chocolate Man in Thailand's in the house. I just mentioned Chocolate Man in Thailand. We were just talking about you. I just sent you a friend request on Shipmate. Cool, you'll be my first one. I'm on my phone, so I can't look at it right now, but I will. Curious, we like Disney cruise ships because 1.5 baths, good cabin room. How small are the bathrooms on Royal Caribbean? So bathrooms on most ships are pretty small in inside cabins where I stay. Sometimes you can get mini suites and stuff like that where they have like bathtubs and things like that. But I always stay in inside cabins and they're pretty small. I'm working on a video now that I'll probably publish after early this week, comparing MSC's inside cabin with Royal Caribbean, or not Royal Caribbean, with Sky Princess's inside cabin, and MSC wins the bathroom battle. Their bathrooms feel so much bigger, even though I don't think they really are. They're just super bright. They made them really light colored, and the shower enclosure is so big, and it's a shower door, and they're just really nice. I can't see an inside cabin bathroom being better than that. The inside cabin bathroom on here is very similar to the ones on the Princess ships I've been on, and they're okay, but not great. But having 1.5 bath, that would be amazing. I think I just missed another super chat here. Greyhound, girl, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you doing? Thanks for the super chat. You didn't ask a question either, but if you have one, I'll answer it. The carrier has planes on it as well. Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty cool. I need to get over there. Are you doing a Caribbean cruise? Yeah, David. So I'm spending 3 months in the Caribbean, 3 months in Europe, 3 months in Asia, 3 months, and then probably 3 months on South America, in South America and Antarctica, and then 3 months in the Middle East. But I might swap the South America and Middle East. I don't know yet. I haven't booked those cruises yet. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. We're in the Caribbean. We're on our 3 months in the Caribbean. I'm on my 3rd cruise ship. I'll be on this one for a month, and then I'll hop on Caribbean Princess for a month, and then I'll head over to Europe on the Island Princess. Holy cow, we're getting a lot of super chats today. Angela says, I am a writer but love to read. Have you been on the ships that have great libraries or excursions for book lovers? So The Ruby Princess had a really great library. This ship has a library, but it's like along a passageway. In the Navy, we call them P-ways, passageway, P-way, a corridor. They have a library along a P-way, and most ships have a take a book, leave a book type of policy. So yeah, the best one though I've seen so far is on Ruby Princess. Sky Princess had one, but it wasn't that great. But yeah, Ruby Princess was the best one I've seen so far. But yeah, I've seen most older ships especially have libraries on them. That was a common thing. Some of the newer ships seem to be doing away with them though. But you can always find quiet places to read. There's right through that door back there is called the solarium, and it's an enclosed pool area. A lot of these ships, like this ship, these smaller ships, have the enclosed pool areas because they go to a lot of colder places, and so you can still swim and be in the hot tubs and things like that. Because these smaller ships get into ports that other ships can't get into. That's why I'm going to be on a lot of smaller Princess ships when I go to Norway and things like that. But this one has a solarium, and it's a quiet area. There's no music. I mean, people can talk in there, but it's much quieter, and I see people in there all the time reading, and it's nice and warm in there, so you can read and take a cat nap, take a cat nap. I think it'd be great for reading. And thanks again. That is the USS Yorktown. Very cool. Very cool. USS Yorktown. Very cool. Elby says, could you please film the life at the ports? Yeah, I need to do that. I've only done one port. I've only done Puerto Rico so far, but we definitely will be doing more in the future. I'm not a very good travel vlogger, like walking around doing travel vlogs, and I just need to get better at that, get my confidence up so I feel better about doing those type of videos. And to be honest with you, not that many people watch those videos. What has surprised you and disappointed you most about this ship? What has, nothing's really disappointed me so far about Enchantment of the Seas. I've only been on here 3 days. The biggest disappointment is the solo meetup. I'm the only one there. I mean, cruise industry is like missing a huge opportunity with solo cruisers. Like, you want to make money off me? Do a pub crawl on a ship. Have a solo table that I can sign up for specialty restaurants. I will do it every single day. I would go and drink a beer. I'll pay for my $8 beer, my $15 bourbon and blood at these solo meetups. Otherwise, I don't drink. So I don't drink alone. They're missing a huge opportunity with revenue opportunity with solo cruisers. And it's not just Royal. Princess sucks at it too. MSC was much better. They at least did one hosted one. And but every single solo one I won on MSC, although it was a huge ship, had a bunch of people there. So far on here, I'm the only one there. I'm the solo representative, and I know I'm not the only solo on here. Yeah, I'm on a cruise now. I'm on a cruise ship, Gina. I live on nothing but cruise ships right now. And if I missed your question, please ask it again. Angela H. asks, have you ever done a river cruise? So I'm working on possibly getting a river cruise booked, a Christmas river cruise in Europe. I want to take my mom on it. And so, yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment. Favorite port so far? Probably Puerto Rico or Ocean Cay, which is MSC's private island, which is amazing. Hey, we got 275 people in here and only 232 likes. Man, if I can hit 300 likes before the first hour is up, that'd be amazing. Wendy Bloom says, are you able to keep up your stock trading on board? Yeah, I mean, it's easy actually. The internet has been good enough on all ships to do trading apps. I don't trade stocks. I don't go in and out of stocks. I usually just buy and hold. I usually make my purchases usually at the beginning of the month when I get dividends or, you know, and I get paid. Sometimes I'll buy stocks if the market is down a lot and I'm interested in something, but yeah, it's pretty easy with technology nowadays. Let's see. Question, interested in first solo cruise. Do they send offers for another cruise with them? So, Alan, check out Cruise Plum. You'll see. Do I got a link? I might have a link down below. Cruise Plum, like the fruit, and you can search by solo price. And it's not a travel agent like some of the other ones are. It's just a search engine. It's really good. I just did a video about it. My last video is all about how to find cheap cruises as a solo. Go check that out. There's also a bunch of links down below where you can get cash back when you buy cruises. Rakuten down below, which I love. Andrea, who's on this live chat, is the one that introduced me to that. It's amazing. It's very cool. I got 1.5% back on my Princess cruises, and I'm getting 2% back on my Celebrity cruises. I also got 2% back on my Hilton hotel that I stayed in the other day, which was awesome. But anyway, it's a really cool thing, and I think if you sign up, they give you $30 or something like that. Let's see. All right, the questions are moving so fast. Just saying, many years ago, I had a tour of the aircraft carrier USS Nassau, LH4. It was a great experience. Yeah, that's cool. An LHA is actually in the modern Navy, we wouldn't consider that an aircraft carrier. We would consider that a helicopter launcher or a Harrier launcher. I guess we wouldn't call it an aircraft carrier. We would call it an LHA. The aircraft carriers are the ones that can launch like F-18s and things like that. They can launch horizontal launch aircraft and vertical launch, where the LHAs can only launch vertical launch. They can't land and take off like F-18s or F-14s or anything like that. They can only take off the Harriers, which are planes that can take off like this. They don't have to have a runway, and helicopters, obviously. But they look just like aircraft carriers, except for they're smaller. Jackie says, I got a check for $125 from Rakuten. That's awesome. I do the PayPal, so they do PayPal or checks, which is really cool. At first, when Andrea told me about it, I thought it was a scam. I'm like, this looks too good to be true. I signed up for it. It's been great. I guess they probably are like, I don't know, they get a percentage of what you book, but it's great. Gina says, are solo travelers seated at a table with other solo travelers? So the way they do it on cruise ships is people will sign up to be seated with other people. Sometimes it's couples, sometimes it's solos, and they just put you in a hat and put you at a table. Here, they assign your table to you at the beginning of the night. I get something under my door that tells me what table I can sit at. I don't normally go to the main dining room anyway, to be honest with you. But when I do, it's always pretty cool. I meet some great people. Like I met Andrea, who was on this chat. That's the one that introduced me to Rakuten, which was amazing. She introduced me to it because I love it. But yeah. Also, 2 people used my Princess Cruises link. I don't know who they are. It doesn't tell me. And it gives me $25 off my cruise. So thank you for whoever did that. Use that link. And I believe they got $25 off their cruise too. So awesome. What is your favorite cruise line so far? So Trucker, I would say I've only been on Royal Caribbean for 3 days. I've only been on 1 MSC ship. I've been on 2 Princess ships. So it's hard for me to compare them at this point. I need to go on more MSC ships, more Royal ships, newer Royal ships. I'm on one of Royal's oldest ships. But I would have to say Princess for the total package. There are things that MSC does better. I love MSC's private island. Their solo meetups are better. There's things that Royal does better. I think the food's a little bit better on here. But I would say total package, cost and customer service, I would say it's probably at the moment Princess. And yeah, so I'm gonna be on a ton of Princess cruises because of that. They give me a ton of onboard credit, which I didn't really appreciate when I was on board. But now that I'm on a bunch of cruise lines that don't give me that much onboard credit, I really miss it. David says, are you planning a Sunday chat each week? I think that's what I'm going to try to do, David. A lot of it's based on, connectivity on the ship. Today and last Sunday, I just happened to be in a port where I could get good connection. But I think I'm going to try to do the Sunday thing. I don't think I'm stepping on any other cruise bloggers by doing it Sunday at around noon time frame. So I think that's going to be what I try to shoot for every week. I think I'm at sea next Sunday. And if that's the case, then we will do it. Try it at sea. I haven't tried it at sea yet. So, Jen and Tommy with the super chat. Thanks. What's the best and worst thing about solo cruising? Good to catch your live stream. What's the best and worst thing? So the best thing is goes across all kinds of travel. The best thing about solo travel and solo cruises, and I get to do what I want when I want. I want nobody else's time schedule. I don't have to worry about anybody else. I just, do what I want to do when I want to do it. What's the worst thing? So far, the worst thing has been the solo meetups. They're just horrible on every cruise ship I've been on except for MSC Meraviglia. It was a little bit better, but not that much better. I do have a Norwegian cruise coming up where I'll be in a solo cabin and I'll have access to the solo lounge. And so we'll get to see. I always hear good things about Norwegian solo experience, so we'll see if it lives up to the hype. But yeah, so far I've been really disappointed with the solo meetups. It's just been, I don't want to have to do so much work to meet the other solos. Cruise ships are missing out on a huge income opportunity, in my opinion. Another super chat from my old buddy Henry. Big Houston Rockets fan. I almost called you a San Antonio Spurs fan. Hey, I just thought I'd say hi. Not sure if you remember me, but I've been a lot. Of course I remember you, man. Come on now. Of course I remember you. Starlink is amazing. Yeah, so I got Starlink on this ship, and the speed test on it wasn't that good, but the performance has been really good. So I don't know if maybe speedtest.net can't properly evaluate Starlink or something, but it only showed me getting close to four down and 2 up, but it's been performing way better than that. Are you reading books while cruising? Yeah. Currently I'm reading 2 Years Before the Mast. I'm going back and reading a bunch of classics that I've read in the past. I'm reading a book called 2 Years Before the Mast by Dana Henry. It's an amazing book. It's been about 20 years since I read it, so I'm rereading it. So many questions. Angela H says, you got an affiliate link for cruises. Wow. Please show the affiliate cruise links you have. They're down below in the description of this video and any video I have. I just have one with Princess. Anybody can get it. So you don't have to use mine. If you got a friend that cruises Princess, you can go use their link and they'll get 25 bucks. But the Rakuten one, that one's really good because it has 3 cruise lines on there right now that you get cash back from: Princess, Carnival, and Celestial. Not Carnival, Celebrity. For a while, Celebrity was 4% back. Now it's down to 2% back, so I'm assuming they fluctuate. Right now, Princess is at 1.5% back, which is cool. But if you book cruises, by the way, you don't get the cash back until your cruise ends. So just be aware of that. Is this the Connie I know from Sky Princess? Connie says, cruising solo rocks if someone else wants to do that or not. And when I don't want to do something else, I'm not obligated. Yeah, I love it. That's what I love about solo cruising. As far as eating alone, there's really nobody to pick. Is paying attention. Who cares? Yeah, I don't mind eating alone. It doesn't bother me. I'm very much an introvert. For those that have been following my channel for a while, you may think I'm an extrovert, but I'm really not. Dude, we have 307 people in the chat. I haven't had over 300 people in the chat since my van life days. That is amazing. If you haven't smashed that thumbs up button, I'd appreciate it. We're really close to 300 thumbs up, so that's awesome. I can't believe I have 300 people in a live stream. It's been a long time since I've had 300 people in a live stream. What's the next stop for you? So right now we're in Charleston, South Carolina. The next stop is Port Canaveral. We're basically going from Baltimore, Charleston, Port Canaveral, Nassau, Bahamas, Grand Bahama, and then going back to Baltimore. Then we're picking up some new passengers for the 12-day cruise. Maybe some of them are in the live chat. If you're going on the 12 March cruise, let me know, or not 12 March, whatever date it is, because I posted this link on there. On that cruise, we're going to a bunch of the saints, St. Kitts, St. Thomas, I think, a bunch of the saints. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then on the last 8-day cruise I'm doing on here, we're definitely going to Coco Cay and then a couple other spots. I can't remember what they are. Again, the chat is moving super quick. If you have a question, make sure you type the word question in all caps before you ask the question. I'll know it's a question. And if I miss your question, I'm on my phone. It moves really quickly. Make sure you ask it again. Well, what is your comment about life at sea? I love life at sea. So, I mean, I was in the Navy for 20 years. How's dividend investing going? I've been dividend investing since 1994. I'll never stop doing it. So it just ho-hum, you know? Every month I get a dividend check, and every month I buy more dividend stocks. Kevin, 5 new members gifted by Kaylee today. Kaylee, thank you. You don't have to keep doing that, but thank you, Kaylee. You're too kind. For whatever reason, on the phone, I do not see when people gift memberships. I gifted memberships last night to Dee, and I saw it on the computer, but I don't see it on the phone. Fraser at Sea is in the house. If you guys don't follow Fraser at Sea, he's out of Europe, and he's going to start living on nothing but cruise ships for a year this year, and he starts pretty soon. I think he might have already started, but I think it's pretty soon. So make sure you check out his channel. Go over his channel right now. There's 297 of you in here. I know not all of you are subscribed to him. Let's get him more subscribers. His content is great, and just great. He's a great channel to watch. I don't know if he knows this because I think he just jumped on, but I just booked a ton of cruises out of Southampton. I'm taking Island Princess over there. Then I'm going to be on Sky Princess for 42 days. A 7-day Comedians cruise, and then a bunch of other cruises that are Mediterranean, Baltic, all kinds of cool stuff. And then I'm jumping on Regal Princess and doing all of the British Isles, like Guernsey, where a buddy of mine lives. I can't wait to get in touch with him and let him know I'm coming to Guernsey. And then I'm going over to New Zealand. I'm going to go do a 21 days in Alaska and then over to New Zealand. And then we'll do Asia. But yeah, okay. Have you ever considered a world cruise? So I like switching it up with cruise ships. Maybe if I stick with cruising after my year of cruising is done, I'm like, man, I want to keep doing this. Maybe that's something I would consider. But right now I want to experience different lines, different ships. You know, one of my goals now is to sail on all the Princess ships because I love Princess. I've been on Sky, I've been on Ruby, I've got Caribbean Princess coming up, I have Island Princess booked, I have Grand Princess booked, and I have Regal Princess booked. So I'm knocking a lot of them out, and then maybe I'll switch to doing all the Royal Caribbean ships. I've got Enchantment knocked out now, and I'm going to be on Norwegian Getaway as well. I'm going to be on MSC Seaside, and so I like switching it up, going from ship to ship. I do like staying on the ships a little longer, like I'm on this one for 28 days. You know, 3 weeks to a month, I like that, because then there's not as much travel time and all that kind of stuff. I like being able to relax on a ship a little bit and not rushing around. Do I have children or grandchildren? I do not have children. I was married for a couple years a long time ago. Didn't work out, but you know, I'm always open to dating. Did I miss a super chat? I think I missed a super chat. There it is. Henry again. Thanks, Henry. When you did van life, did you get a chance to meet or hang out with Eamon and Beck or Kara and Nate? You mentioned them a while back. I never got to hang out with E&B, but when Kara and Nate were first starting out, not when they were first starting out, but about a year and a half into their YouTube adventure, I started mine, and they had much less subscribers back then. And so we used to communicate a lot. Not so much anymore. I mean, they're super famous, and I don't even expect them to remember me. I don't even think my channel was named 30 and a Wake Up back then. I think it was a different name, because this channel had 3 different names. But we did communicate a lot back in the day. Emma Cruises is another person I communicated with back in the day when we were both actually first under 10,000 subscribers, both of us. And then she blew up like crazy. But yeah. Also, will you be cruising to Antarctica by the end of the year? Yeah, I haven't booked it yet, but I'm working on getting an Antarctic cruise booked. I mean, it's something I'm going to do, even if I don't do it in this year, but I think I will. But even if I don't do it this year, I'm going to do it. And also Galapagos and all that other stuff. I mean, right now, my cruise content is doing pretty good. Most of my videos are getting 10,000 views. Some of the bangers are getting, 40 to 80,000 views, which is pretty good for going to a new genre and not having a whole lot of cruise subscribers. Maybe I have 5 to 10,000 cruise subscribers. So it's actually going pretty good from a view perspective. And if that continues, I mean, I love cruising. I'll probably just continue to cruise for a while and do some more specialty cruises like the Galapagos Islands, some of the other like off the wall, off the chain type of cruising. Have you tried to use your cruise line shareholder benefits? I just bought 100 shares of Carnival last month, so I'm waiting for my statement to be issued for last month, and then I'm going to send that off and get all my Princess cruises with the shareholder credit. So I'll be able to do any Carnival cruise line, which is Carnival, obviously, Princess, Holland America, I think they own Cunard as well, and somebody else. And so I'll be able to get onboard credit for having shareholder credit as well. I do get onboard credit for being retired military with Princess. MSC gives me 5% off cruises. MSC and Royal Caribbean both give me 5% off cruises, and Norwegian gives me 10% off the cruise fare for being retired military. So that's a really cool benefit. Norwegian, the share price is falling, so maybe I'll buy 100 shares of Norwegian soon. Are you drinking out of a drink package cup? I am. I got the soda package for just this 8-day cruise. I wanted to try it out. They have those cool soda machines on here that allow you to get like the fruity Cokes and stuff. So I got like Coke Zero cherry vanilla going on in here right now, and I love that kind of stuff. They have the orange vanilla, which I really like. But it's a little pricey. I won't be doing it for my 12-day or my 8-day cruise. How much work do you do per week, or is it fun not to work? So I do a lot. I make videos. I do this kind of thing. I mean, I guess this is working because this is how I make this is my job now, how I make income. But it doesn't feel like work. Hanging out with you guys does not feel like work. I saw an article on CNN that you can now live on a cruise ship for $30K per year. Yeah, that's $30K double occupancy, so $60K per cabin. It is a casino ship, and it's a 3-year commitment. I did all the research on it. Not my thing. You can live as a solo on a cruise ship for probably $40K a year. Maybe a little bit less once you start moving up membership perks on different cruise lines. Or if you do some casino stuff, you can probably get some, you can get comped a lot of cruises. Like Para DJ gets comped a lot of cruises because they do a lot of casino stuff, but yeah. Do you ever get bored on a cruise? So I don't, but like, I would ask you, do you ever get bored at your house? Like, sometimes I have nights in on the cruise ship where I go to my cabin and I turn on YouTube or Netflix, and Disney, The Mandalorian's out, and I love Star Wars, and so I watched The Mandalorian my last cruise, the new episode, and so to me, there's no difference between living in a house and living in a cruise. When I'm home, do I get bored at home? Yeah, and then I go out and do something if I'm on a cruise ship. I don't really get bored because it's really easy to do stuff. Like, all I do is pull up the schedule and go, oh, is there any live music playing right now? I'm on a Royal Caribbean ship right now. There's always live music. Oh, look, there's a band playing in the atrium. Let's go down to the atrium or the piazza and watch the band. Or, oh, the piano player is playing down. Let's go listen to that music. Or, oh, there's a show going on. Or there's trivia going on. I love the trivia. I play trivia all the time, so it's one of my favorite. Hey, we are 9 thumbs up away from 300 thumbs up. If you don't mind smashing it. We're also at 301 people watching. Thank you. That's awesome. Paul, are you on the March 11th cruise on Enchantment? Because I am. So say hi when you get on board. I'm on that cruise, and I'm on the follow-on cruise as well. Let's see. Question. Any tips for a newbie? Any tips? The chat's scrolling too quick. Any tips for a newbie? I'm taking my first Princess cruise in June 2024, and I'm super excited on the new Sun Princess. That's awesome. I might be booking Sun Princess soon, so you might actually get a look at Sun Princess from me. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I've been on 3 different cruise lines now, and I love the Princess experience. So I recently got a bunch of good offers from Princess for cheap inside cabins, and so I booked a ton of them. And there's some deals on Sun Princess right now for me, and so I might be booking some Sun Princess. Any advice? I don't have a ton of advice. Sun Princess is a new class of ship, so I have no idea. I would say advice for Princess. You're going to get the cool medallion, the white medallion. So when you do a cruise ship in its first year of cruising, you get a white medallion, and your loyalty color will be the Sea Witch. That's what their logo is. It's a Sea Witch. Where normally you get your logo color with the white Sea Witch, or your loyalty level. So you're going to get that. So that's going to be cool. What advice do I have? If you like coffee, get the coffee. Oh, they don't have the coffee package anymore. They got rid of it. I forgot. They just got rid of it. Oh, Princess, how could you get rid of the coffee package? How could you get rid of the coffee package? Yeah, they got rid of it. I was going to say get the coffee package. Okay, a piece of advice. Try the butter pecan latte. Amazing, 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 amazing. There we go. What is Connie's advice? Going Green Mountain, what other channels does he have? I only know about this one. I quit doing stuff on my other channels, so don't give those links. I don't do anything on them anymore. It was investment type of stuff, and I just felt bad about people following my advice during an economic downturn. So yeah. Connie says tips for first timers: do not overplan. I agree. I don't plan anything when I come on a ship. A lot of people think that's crazy, like not to book specialty dining and all that stuff. I just kind of go with the flow, and if I feel like doing it, I go and do specialty dining. I did a ton of specialty dining on MSC Meraviglia. I did the sushi restaurant. I did Ola Tacos. I did Butcher's Cut, and I didn't book any of them. I just walked up and asked them if they had a table available. And only one time was I told no. All the other times I went, I was able to. So it was pretty awesome. Kevin, thank you so much for all that you do and the great content. Honestly, I always enjoy the background and the music. Take care. Thanks, Henry, man. Thanks for the super chats, too. Let's see. Question. Hey, Kevin, what was your favorite destination ever in my whole life? I love Thailand. I mean, that's one of my favorite. I lived in Hawaii for almost 10 years, so it's kind of my home away from home. I love it there. Anytime I go there, I feel so happy. When I get there, it's home away from home for me. It's hard for me to pick because it depends on what mood I'm in. If I'm in the mood to be in the mountains, Colorado. If I'm in the mood to be on the ocean, Hawaii. If I'm in the mood, it changes. When people ask me if I only could visit one place, where would I go? Probably Peru, because Peru just has so many microclimates. It's the only place that you can surf in the morning and ski at night, or ski in the morning and surf at night. You can go to the Huacachina Desert and go sandboarding. You can be in a modern city like Lima, or go to an ancient city that's thousands of years old like Cusco. You can hike amazing man-made ruins like Machu Picchu. You can hike an amazing Mother Nature-made area like Rainbow Mountain. The food, they have the most Michelin-starred restaurants in the world. The food is amazing in Peru. So yeah, but it's hard to pick a favorite. If I missed your question, please ask it again. Yeah, my chat's just moving too quick. So if you have a question, please ask it again. I got all merino wool on today. It's been a while since everything I had, including pants, is merino. Let me show you. I have the khaki pants, merino wool sweatshirt, and merino wool shirt underneath. Merino wool skivvies, and I'm a sailor, that's what we call them. And merino wool socks. So I'm 100% merino wool today, which might be the first time in a long time, because I'm usually in shorts, which I don't have any merino wool shorts. So, how are the pants? I'm liking them so far. I wouldn't tell anybody to buy them. They're expensive. They're like 220 bucks. For those who don't know, Unbound Merino sent me 2 pair of their pants to try out, but they're expensive. I really like them. They fit like blue jeans. I would probably buy them, but I don't want to tell other people to buy them when I got them for free. All my other merino wool stuff, you guys know I paid for, and so I have no problem like saying, you should buy that stuff. But these I got for free, and so I feel bad telling people, but I really, really like them so far. I have no complaints. Would you not like to ask a question to Kevin again? Yeah, if you have a question, ask it again. I'm not ignoring anybody. The chat just moves really quick on my phone, and I can't go back and get it, because if I try to, every time someone says something, it bounces back up. Currently in Charleston, and I believe he said Port Canaveral. Yeah, that's my next port, and then we're going to Grand Bahama and Nassau, Bahama. Do you find that merino wool is still the best for all climates? Yeah, it works in hot and cold. I mean, that's why I like merino wool, because you can just layer it and it works great. Like, it's 60 something degrees right now, and I feel perfectly fine. If it was colder, I would feel fine. I have a merino wool neck thing I would put on, and then I have merino wool long johns that I would put on under these pants, and I'd be good to go. Anywhere cold. I'm going to be in Iceland, and I'll be wearing that stuff there. And then you can take the stuff off and just be in a t-shirt. The shirts breathe really easy. I wore them all in Thailand, black t-shirts. People thought I was crazy. They breathe really easy. They don't show sweat. They're great. Is that a Jimmy Buffett pirate lanyard? Yeah, so for those who don't know, I'm a huge Jimmy Buffett fan. I mean, I've been a huge Jimmy Buffett fan since I was probably 12 years old. The first time I heard A Pirate Looks at 40, and Come Monday, and Margaritaville, obviously. And I was at Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, and they had, Pirate Looks at 40. Yes, I am a pirate, 200 years too late. Cannons don't thunder, there's nothing to plunder. I'm an over 40 victim of fate, arriving too late. But yeah, this is a Jimmy Buffett lanyard. That's my Royal Caribbean card. I'm a newbie on Royal Caribbean. At the end of this 28 days, though, because I get double credit, I will be Emerald, I think it is, and I'll be a 13-day cruise away from Diamond, which will be great, because then I can go into the Diamond Lounge and get free drinks. 4 free drinks a day. So I'll definitely be working on getting that with Royal Caribbean. Retired Butcher Boy says, good morning from Northern California. I know sometimes you can book a Princess obstructed outside cabin for the same price as an inside cabin. Yeah, I've never seen it, but I have heard people do that. I've never seen it, though, and I search a lot of cruises. Question from Jafar. He said, must be interesting to find out what the crew members feel, and if you could interview some of them. Yeah, I might do that on future cruises. A lot of the cruise lines have policies where they can't do that kind of thing, so we'll see. Maybe I can get people that are finishing up on their contract or something like that. But obviously, like on my last cruise ship, I talked to my steward a lot and learned a lot about him. He's from Indonesia, he's from Bali, and but yeah, they're not. He wasn't allowed to come on camera like that. So I get it, like an employee, it's a fine line. I don't want to get anybody in trouble because I'm trying to make content. So if I can catch people that are at the end of a contract or something like that are willing to do it, yeah, but it's not something I seek out and try to do because of the most cruise lines have rules against that kind of thing because they consider me media. how can I find a deal for solo to Antarctica? Use Cruise Plum. That's where I search and find all my cruise deals. I just did a video about like how I find cheap cruises. Yeah, check that out. Oh, they're playing music. I'm gonna get copyright striked. How do you get double credit? So most cruise ships, when you travel solo, when you book solo cabins, they give you double cruise credit. Princess definitely does, Royal Caribbean does. I don't know about MSC because I'm at the highest level of MSC because I status matched with them with my Hilton. I'm pretty sure Norwegian does as well. But when you travel solo, they give you extra points because you're booking a cabin, a double occupancy cabin. Even though, like Princess, a lot of times I barely pay any solo supplement, but I still get double credit. I'll get 2 cruise credits instead of 1. So, yeah. Have you ever seen a TEDx or educational seminar on cruising? Is it more expensive to cruise solo? Is it possible to meet other solo cruisers? Is it more expensive to cruise solo? Depends on how you look at it. Like you only pay 1 taxes and port fees. A lot of times you'll pay a solo supplement on a cabin. I explained this all in my last video, what solo supplement is, what double occupancy is, how to avoid them. Sometimes you can find cruises that are negative solo supplements, so you're actually paying less than somebody who books double. There's a ton of those cruises out there. If you look at Cruise Plum, you can sort by solo supplement and see those negative solo supplement cruises. But yeah, in general, you're gonna pay a little bit more. Is it easy to meet people? I think it is, and I'm very much an introvert. So, but yeah, I just did a whole video on finding inexpensive cruises for solos, and so I don't want to rehash that too much on here. But yeah, just shot a whole video about it. It's my last video. Is Cruise Plum like a comparison site for cruises? I mean, you can compare cruises on it. That's what I use it for. To me, it's to compare apples to apples. If you watch my last video, I explain it like really in depth on what's important when it comes to cruise ships, and the number you want to focus on is cost per day, which you can actually sort by cost per day on Cruise Plum. And they're not trying to sell you anything on Cruise Plum. It's just a search engine. I don't know how they make money. There's no advertising on there. They're just cruise enthusiasts that wanted to make a search engine that was good for solo cruisers. Any advice for cruise travelers that absolutely do not like children? So, Virgin Voyages does not allow children on, so no one under 18 can come on board a Virgin ship. So you want no children, go there. I've been on 2 Princess ships and a total of 4 Princess cruises, and there's barely any children on Princess cruise ships. I heard Holland America's the same way. When I was on MSC Meraviglia, there were tons of kids. There were kids everywhere. And on this ship, there are kids, not a ton of kids, but there's definitely kids on this Royal Caribbean ship. Royal Caribbean ships are built more for families. They have, water parks, slides, all that kind of stuff. Anytime you see a go-kart track, water slides, they're trying to attract families, obviously. So, like Princess and Holland America, they don't have ships with water slides and go-kart tracks. So those, tend to bring out less families cruising. So I would say look at those cruise lines that are more traditional. Cunard probably doesn't have a whole lot of kids either. I'm trying to get that guy out of my shot. But yeah, that's what I would say. Woo. If you don't want kids, never cruising during school vacation, that's a good point. I was on that MSC ship during President's Day, and so a lot of kids get some time off, and so, but that was only the first part. The second part of my cruise, it wasn't President's Day, and there were even more kids. So I think it's just a cruise line that attracts kids because they have water parks, they have a bowling alley, they have all these video games, and all this kind of stuff, laser tag and all that kind of stuff. So it attracts families. And Royal Caribbean's famous for being family friendly. Their island is like an amusement park, basically. Solo cruising and more says I'm 58 and did the water slides twice. So she loved it on MSC. I did not do the water slide on MSC. I probably should have, but the couple times I went up there, it was closed. So there's no water slides on this Royal Caribbean ship because it's an older ship. Yeah. For those of you just joining, Solo Cruising and More is on here. Make sure you go check out her channel. I think she's almost at 100 subscribers. She might have already passed it. But go over and subscribe to her. She's a new solo cruise blogger. There's not a whole lot of us out here doing the solo thing. So make sure you show her some support. I'm back in Thailand in 4 weeks and totally hooked on Thailand, probably 6 months. Any plans on returning? Yeah, I'll be in Thailand in October, as a matter of fact. I'm taking a cruise ship. I'm doing a 21-day Alaskan cruise from Anchorage. And then I am taking that same cruise ship over to New Zealand. And I'm hopping on a flight from New Zealand to Thailand. I'm renewing my Thai driver's license. And then I'm hopping on a bunch of cruises out of Singapore. Is COVID still an issue on cruise ships? So I've been cruising for a month and a half now. And I have not noticed any issue with it. That's not to say people didn't get COVID, but I haven't noticed any issue with it. I haven't had any symptoms, but I am vaxxed and double boosted, and I've had it twice. So, but yeah. Let's see. You'll love Alaska. It was one of my favorites. Yeah, so I did a Princess cruise to Alaska in 2018. But I love it. I could see myself at some point doing like 2 months of just Alaskan cruises. Like I could totally see it. I have a service dog and considering travel solo. What can you tell me? So a lot of cruise ships have a certain amount of dogs they let on. They don't even have to be service dogs. I think Cunard is famous for having a ton of dogs on board. They actually have a dog concierge. I believe it's Cunard that has the dog concierge. Could be wrong, but I think it's Cunard. But most cruise ships allow a certain amount of dogs on board. And they'll have like a little dog relief area in below decks. So you just have to check with the cruise line. Kevin, are you ever going to do a month on a sailboat? So I lived on a sailboat in Hawaii for a little bit over a year when I was getting divorced and I was broke. And it's something I've always thought about doing. It was one of the things I was thinking about doing as part of my 1 year of travel doing different things. I thought about buying a sailboat, but I would really need to learn to sail solo. And I'm not even a good sailor when I'm not solo. Do the dogs get mustard girls and vests? Well, that's a good question. I don't know. I hope so. Do you do Carnival? I've done one Carnival cruise. I own 100 Carnival stock, so I will be doing Carnival. The problem with Carnival, Mr. Bob Newall, is I like to book longer cruises, and Carnival doesn't do a whole lot of long cruises. They do like 3, 4, 7-day cruises mostly, and you can't book longer cruises with them. There are some, but not a whole lot. They don't have a ton of overseas stuff, and so they just haven't fit into my itinerary, and they're more expensive because of that. And so they haven't really fit into my itinerary yet. But I have done one Carnival cruise ship. So. Hey Kevin, have you considered Outlaw Country Cruise, NCL Pearl? It's a blast. Outlaw Country Cruise, that sounds amazing. When is it? I'm booked through October right now. I'm fully booked through October now, mid-October. Do you do back-to-back? Yes, I do back-to-back. I've done many back-to-back so far. I was on Sky Princess, 3 cruises, back-to-back-to-back. I'm on this ship, 3 cruises, back-to-back-to-back. I was on MSC Meraviglia. I did back-to-back, a 3 and an 8-day cruise. But yeah. Hey, if you're just joining the chat, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. We're up to 333, which is actually a cool number. But can we get it to 666, which actually that wouldn't be that cool of a number. Do you have to disembark if you do back-to-back? So the way it works with back-to-back cruises, it is a law. If you leave the United States, go to a foreign port and come back to the United States and do a new cruise, everyone has to disembark, and then you can come back on right away. it was a pain in the butt on Meraviglia, but it was really smooth on the Princess ships I've done. I don't know about this ship yet because we went from Baltimore to here in Charleston, so it's 2 U.S. ports, so we didn't have to get off. But I will have to get off when we return to Baltimore, so we'll see how Royal does it. Let's see. I can answer that one. Oh, hold on. Yep. If I missed your question, please add it again. Someone said Carnival added 2 14 and 15 day, or 12, 14, 15 day cruises. They also have a 22, 30, and 31. They do have a few longer cruises, like I was saying, but they're few and far between. Where cruise lines like Princess, Royal on their older ships, Holland America, Norwegian, they have a ton of cruises that you can book that are 14 days plus. And so it's more cost effective and it's less party cruise vibe. And I'm not a huge party cruise fan. What's your other 2 channels names before you went 30 and Wake Up? It was Kevin Vagabond and Kevin Goes Everywhere was my very first name. What a dumb name. And then when I first started traveling 4 years ago, I lived in a different country every 30 days. And when you're in the military and you go on a military deployment, you'll have a countdown for when you're going to return home. So if you have 180 days, you'll say I have 179 days in a Wake Up. So because I was living in a different country every 30 days, that's why my channel is called 30 and Wake Up. Make sense? What are my plans when I finish cruising? I don't know. I've been traveling nonstop for 4 years now. Every year I travel a different way. This year it's cruising. I don't know what the next one will be. I'm really enjoying cruising, so I might cruise for a little bit longer. We'll see. But I never know. A year from now, I don't want to plan because I might be into, I don't know, I might be into jet skiing and maybe I'll jet ski around the world. Do the devil eggs, this is an old school watcher here, Jason Evans. Do the devil eggs on the ship compare to your van made ingredient deficient ones? Yeah, they're way better than my van life. One day I made deviled eggs in my van because people are always asking for videos of food, and I don't do food videos. I don't really cook. And I made deviled eggs and I was missing ingredients, but yeah, they've been way better on cruise ships. Although I've only been on one cruise ship that's had deviled eggs, and that was Sky Princess. No, Ruby Princess. Have you been on Celebrity Beyond? I have not been on Celebrity Beyond, but I was in port with Celebrity Beyond the other day, and it looks like a beautiful ship. I think that's where Captain Kate is, right? I will be on Celebrity ships at some point, though. I had a Celebrity cruise booked, but I canceled it because I got a really good deal for a Trans-Pacific with Princess that's going to Tahiti, Pago Pago, America Samoa, and all kinds of cool places on the way to New Zealand. So I canceled that Celebrity cruise and because I only had it on hold. And so, whoop. Is there a limit on the number of questions that one person can ask? No limit, man, no limit. They're going really quickly, so if I missed your question, ask it again and I'll try to get to it. I'm not missing it on purpose. It just goes really fast on here. Hey, we got 343 thumbs up. We're almost at 350. If you haven't smashed that thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. What is the main way you fund your travel? So my YouTube channel does pretty well now, and it pretty much funds all my travels. I took a 6-month break for some health issues. So the earning ability of my channel fell a lot, but it's coming back up because my cruise ship videos are relatively popular. I think I have a few over 40,000 views, and most of them get at least 10,000 views. So cruising is definitely helping with that. but I'm also retired military. For those who don't know, I did 20 years, a little bit over 20 years in the Navy. I get a military pension, and I have, I've been investing my whole life. I have investment income, and I own a rental property as well. Captain Kate is on Beyond. She has a cute YouTube video with her hairless cat. Yeah, I see that cat all the time on TikTok. She's really famous on TikTok. She's got like millions of subscribers on TikTok. You're a real daredevil type of person, huh? Don't go to jail in the process. Worth watching. You're a real. I don't know what that means, Angela. Do all cruises have casinos? I just finished dealing school and looking to work on them. Yeah, most of them have casinos. I mean, that's a cruise ship's big money maker. That's why they offer so many free cruises to people who spend money in the casino. Probably half the audience, at least, didn't hear my story. But so I was on a Princess cruise. I put $50 in a slot machine in a video, and I lost it in like 3 seconds because I was betting max bet. I had no clue that I was doing that, by the way. But because of that, I guess Princess said this is a sucker, and so they offered me a $150 casino credit on my next cruise, which ended up being Sky Princess. So I went to the casino. I put the 150, got the 150 free casino credit, and I started playing, and I was up and down, but then I won a little jackpot, which was a little bit over $1,000. And at first I walked away and just took my $1,000, but the cruise was 21 days. And I was like, you know what? It's $1,000. I've heard that you get good cruise deals if you spend money at the casino. I'll just gamble with that $1,000 and maybe I'll turn it into 10,000 or I'll lose it. And of course I lost it. But when I was putting that 1,000 in, it was like up and down, right? Sometimes I was up, sometimes I was down. It's that whole roller coaster of gambling. And I put somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000 through the thing. I didn't lose any money, but my 50 initial dollars. I mean, obviously I could have walked away with $1,000, but anyway. But it ended up being like 4,000 something of like money that went through the 4,000 points. And so I didn't think much of it. At the end of the cruise, they offered me 300 in free play on my next cruise, next Princess cruise. Great, cool. But damn, I should have kept that $1,000. $300 isn't worth $1,000. Well, a couple days ago, I get an email from Princess saying, hey, you're part of the Players Club now. Enjoy, if you booked before May 2nd, enjoy free inside cabins. All you have to do is put down a $200 deposit and pay port fees, taxes. And I also paid gratuities. So I thought it was just one cruise. It ended up being an offer. It says it's limited to 3, but I was able to book a bunch of cruises, and I already paid for them for $0 for the inside cabin. And with taxes, port fees, and gratuities, it ended up being about $50 to $60 a day. So for those that don't know, I'm taking Island Princess over to England, going through Iceland and through Norway first, and then we're getting off in Southampton. Well, I booked Sky Princess for 42 days. It's a bunch of different cruises, including a cruise called the Comedy Cruise, where I guess a bunch of comedians are going to be on board, and then a bunch of different itineraries. And so I'll be on that ship for 42 days out of Southampton. And then I jump on the Regal Princess for 12 days, and I'm doing the British Isles cruise. And yeah, so I'll be doing a British Isles cruise, which is like Guernsey and a bunch of other cruises. And I got all those cruises for $0. And then I was like, well, in September I'm coming back to the United States to visit my mom for a week, and then I'm going to head over to Asia. Let me see what they got. I was able to book 21-day Alaskan cruise and another 23 days to New Zealand on the same ship. So I'll be on that ship 44 days, I think. And I'm doing 21 days of Alaska. And then we're going over to New Zealand, doing Tahiti and all that stuff. And it was $0 for the inside cabin. All I had to do was pay port fees and gratuities and taxes and put a $200 deposit down. $200 deposit gets refunded as onboard credit when you get on board the ship. So, I'm not telling people to gamble, but my gambling paid off. But don't be a degenerate with it. I only have really lost $50. All right, back to the chat. If you ask a question, re-ask it. Obviously, I went on a little rant there. Is something happening to the ship? Or the ship nearby? Sorry, maybe I watch Titanic too often. But so much water beneath the ship. I mean, we're in port, and they just have these windows down here. All right, if you got a question, please re-ask it. Do they have an open mic night on the comedy cruise? I don't know. That's a good question. I've actually done one open mic night. It's a complete disaster, but I've done one open night mic in my life. I should work on some material just in case. Kevin, do you work on ship as a dancing companion for older single women? No, I can't dance. If you watch my Instagram, you would. That's not true. I have rhythm, but I'm not a good dancer. If that makes sense. Like I need to learn some dances. Kevin, keep these Sunday special chats going. It motivates me to do push-ups and sit-ups. Very cool, very cool. For those who don't know, I do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups a day, every day. What rank did you get to in the Navy? I was an E9. I'm a retired Command Master Chief. Got really lucky, right place, right time. I'm on Shipmate, but can't see to find anyone. I'm called 30 and wake up on there. Do you give extra gratuity? Yeah, so I usually, if I order, I always carry ones around with me. I order something at the bar, although on this ship, they add gratuity when you don't have a package, 18%. But I usually tip the guy or gal $1. I always tip my stateroom steward at the end, and at least $10 a day. So, I mean, you don't have to do that. You're already paying gratuities, but Nah, don't block any comments. Like, people can talk in the chat, it's fine. It's just I'm using my phone, and so it moves really quickly. Of course, unless it's like, you know, stuff that needs to be blocked. For a single looking to date on a cruise, what would you recommend for a single looking to date on a cruise? I mean, shoot, I'm like, it's a hard question to answer, man. It would have to happen organically, like it would in any other type of dating situation, you know, where you go to the bar and you meet somebody else that's single, or you go to church worship service on Sunday on here and meet somebody single, or you go to, you know, trivia night and meet some, you know what I mean? And I don't think it's any different than anywhere else. It just happens organically. I mean, do you book your own cruises or use an agent? I book my own cruises. I wanted to know what it's like. And to be honest with you, most cruise travel agents do not specialize in solo travelers. They don't really know how to find solo deals. Most of them never even heard of Cruise Plum, which is the most amazing tool for a solo cruiser. And so I'm not sure I have a whole lot of faith in travel agents anyway. And I wanted to learn the ins and outs of booking my own cruises. And so I use Cruise Plum. I just did a whole video about this, my last video. So go check that out if you want a real in-depth video about finding cruises as a solo cruiser. But yeah, I don't use a travel agent at the moment. Maybe I'll find one in the future that's good at booking solo cruises. The Masked Cruiser says, by the way, subscribe to Masked Cruiser, also a new cruise channel. I watch him, he's great. Has your cruise decreased cabin service to 1 daily? So when I get on a cruise ship, the first thing I do with my cabin steward is I tell them I only want to be only in the morning for me. I'm easy peasy. So, and I get up super early and it's great. They always have my cabin clean by the time I come back. So I'm a bad person to ask. I have not noticed that on any cruise ship I've been on. I didn't notice it on MSC Meraviglia. I didn't notice it on Sky Princess, Royal Princess, and now Enchantment of the Seas. I have not noticed reduced service. But I only ask for service in the morning, and I ask them not to do it any other time of day. So I'm a special case, so I'm not a good person to answer that question. Does Royal have an onboard church? Most cruise ships do have a worship place. I don't know if this ship does, I haven't looked for it, but every other ship I've been on so far does. And usually it's for weddings too. They have chapels for weddings. There are some. We have 266 people in the chat. We're really close to 400 likes. If you haven't smashed that like button, smash it, kill it. You know, and if you hate me, smash it twice. Have you observed any major differences on your cruise with Royal Caribbean? With Royal Caribbean versus your cruises on Norwegian. I've never been on Norwegian. I've been on MSC, Princess, and Royal Caribbean. I've only been on one Royal Caribbean ship, and I'm on it right now. I'm on day 3. So it's really hard for me to judge. I've been on Princess. I've done 3 7-day cruises and 1 16-day Panama Canal cruise, and I've been on 1 MSC ship, MSC Meraviglia, and I did 2 cruises, a total of 11 days. I would say Princess and Royal are very comparable. I think so far the food has been a tad better than Princess on here. I would say the beds are way better on Princess. Princess are my favorite inside cabins. MSC is my favorite bathroom on a cruise ship so far, but I'm on an old Royal ship. This ship was built in 1997, and so of course it's dated. But the customer service on here has been top notch. Customer service on MSC, not so great. My stateroom steward was great though. What time is sail away? 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. We pulled in really early this morning. Question, do you tip at the beginning or the end of a cruise? So most cruises, I prepay gratuities, so my gratuities are already paid before I get on. And then I'll usually tip my steward at the end of the cruise. Do you know of anyone in UK that has used Cruise Plum? No, you can't search as a UK person, but you can search as an American or a Canadian and search cruises going out of the UK. I would assume the prices aren't that much different, but yeah. They're always adding functionality to that website though. I bet you they add England next. England and Australia, I bet, get added soon. What are some of your favorite cruise YouTube channels? And do you want to do some work with other channels? I'm more than open to collab. I've been on Chili Cruises. He's interviewed me 3 or 4 times. I was just on his channel the other day. I'm being interviewed by Home on a Hitch this Friday, I believe. I'm obviously friends with Emma. Sometimes she's in my chat. I don't know if she's been on today, but sometimes she's in my chat. I watch all of her live streams. There's a bunch of people in this chat right now. The Mass Cruiser, I see him in cruise chats all the time. I really like Let's Go Travel Tips. It's great for Princess stuff. I like their Facebook page too. They've been really gracious to me. Let me post my videos on there. Yeah, I mean a bunch of them. I can go on and on. I've talked about a bunch of them in this live stream as well and recommended their channels. Thank you, Going Green Mom, for posting those links. Do you know if free cruises count towards your membership status? Yeah. I mean, you get credit for any cruise you take. You're still paying port fees, taxes. I mean, what they want is you to pump more money into casinos. They're sorely mistaken with me though. I ain't pumping no more money into casinos, but I'm gonna take advantage of it right now. If I wouldn't have won that $1,000 jackpot, we wouldn't be talking about this. Do you know if, they count towards your membership. Just off Princess Discovery, also got a free interior room from Gambling. Thought it was too good to be true. Thanks for reaffirming it's not a scam. Yeah, I mean, if you go into the Princess website right now, most of the casino deals are represented on the website. You don't even have to call. You used to have to call the casino people and book your cruise, but now they're starting to integrate it. Go check your website right now. Go check Princess website and start searching some cruises that are 20 days and under. Have you cruised with Virgin yet? No, Virgin only has 2 cruise ships. They're getting ready to have their 3rd, so it's actually really hard to get a Virgin cruise because they only have 2 cruise ships. I did see one today in Asia that I might be booking, so we'll see. We'll see. We're gonna get on a Virgin ship for sure. There's no kids on it, man. Here, I'll let you guys see what's going on behind me. It's only 66 degrees out here, but there are people in bikinis and no shirts and bathing suits getting in the pool. Kevin, will you be allowing yourself time to walk around Charleston? So I'm going to Charleston 3 times in the next 28 days. And I've been to Charleston in the Navy, so I'm pretty familiar with it. So this one I'm not because I'm doing this live stream, but actually that's not true. I'll get off. No, I won't get off because we're getting underway in an hour. But I will get off in Charleston next couple times we're in here. And we're going to be in Port Canaveral tomorrow, so I'll get off there too. Do you read through the chats during the week to see if you missed something important? Not normally. I mean, I do these marathon live streams and I tell people to ask questions over and over again. That would just take so much time to do when I could be, making other videos and stuff, so I don't do that. Always great to see more solo cruising. Yeah. Hey, check out Cruising for One's YouTube channel too, by the way. All right, if I missed your question, ask it again. Do you work on the cruise ship? So I make YouTube videos on the cruise ship. So yeah, I guess technically I do. I'm working right now, although I don't really consider doing this YouTube stuff work, but I do make an income from it. I make a decent income actually. Almost enough to fund my cruises. Oh, you're a solo cruiser? I'm considering my first solo cruise soon. Very cool. Check out the website, Cruise Plum. They don't sell you anything on there. It's just a search engine, and you can search by one individual, and it's just great. I just did a whole video about like how to find cheap cruises as a solo cruiser. I just did a video, so check that video out. Kevin, adults can be the timer. Adults can have the timer turned off on the soda package. Go to guest services. Do you go to Michael's and get their crab cake? I did not go to Michael's, but we will be back in Baltimore 2 more times, so I will. And that's good to know, whoever told me about the soda thing. I actually kind of like the timer. Keeps me from drinking too much soda. Please don't forget to give this live stream a thumbs up. Yeah, if you don't mind. We're 19 away from 400 thumbs up, which I haven't had since Van Life days. So that's amazing. I think we had 306 was the highest number of live streamers we had this live stream, which was amazing. I haven't had that much since I was living in an RV. The other question was whether you work on the cruise ship. If you mean, do I work for the cruise companies? No. I don't get any benefits from the cruise ship for making videos, and I wouldn't. Princess did reach out to me when I was on the Sky Princess, the marketing director, to just see if I was enjoying my cruise. But I wouldn't take anything because I want to be objective. I do use Princess's affiliate link, but anybody can use that. You can use it. So I do have Princess's affiliate link down below, but it's not because Princess gave that to me. Anybody can do that. Anybody can do refer a friend and get $25 off their next cruise. So I just put the link in. If I didn't like Princess, I wouldn't do that. I only put stuff down there that I like Rakuten, I like, merino wool, I like my backpack that I travel with, I like I only put stuff that I use and that I like down there. And I do get kickbacks, but almost everything that I put down there, you also get something out of it. So, are you planning an Antarctic cruise? Yeah, I haven't booked it yet, but definitely getting ones on the bucket list. Falkland Islands, Yeah, after I leave the Caribbean, I'm going to Europe and doing a bunch of really cool stuff in the Med and in the Baltic and in the North Sea, Norway, Scandinavia, a bunch of cool stuff. I mean, that's a big ship coming in or going out, big container ship. One of my jobs when I was in the Navy, when I was in the Arabian Gulf, I was on a small ship and we boarded ships like that and searched every container on them. And you can see the containers are stacked up, so we would have to climb the ship, the containers, and open them up, search them, looking for contraband. It's terrible. Sig Cruiser is another solo cruise channel. Very cool. I'll have to check that out. I've never heard of it before. Can I refer you? You mean you can't because I've already booked Princess Cruises. I think it only works as a referral link to someone who's never booked a Princess Cruise. Maybe it works for everybody. I don't know. If you book Princess Cruises, try my link, try somebody else's link, see if it works. Rakuten is great because I think you get $30 for signing up, but they give 1.5% cash back on Princess, 2% back on Celebrity. They've actually given up to 4% back on Celebrity, and I've heard sometimes Princess does a deal with them where they give 10% back, which would be amazing. Oh man, I'd book like 100 cruises if they did that for Princess. I love Princess, by the way. So far I'm loving Royal Caribbean as well. The only cruise line I haven't like loved so far is MSC, but I think when I was talking to Para DJ, they said, hey look, try some other MSC ships, like Divina's smaller, you might like that one better than MSC Meraviglia. And also I'm gonna be on MSC Seaside, so I don't wanna like just dog a cruise line after only sailing with them once. It was okay. It was a good cruise. There's no such thing as a bad cruise, but when I compare it to other experiences I've had, I just like the Princess experience better. And so far, I like the Royal experience. It's been great. I'm 5 thumbs up away from 400 thumbs up. Come on, I know there's 5 people in here. Rakuten does Black Friday. It's great. That's very cool. Yeah, I like Rakuten. I'm starting to get people signing up through my Rakuten link, and every time you do that, they give me $30, which is pretty freaking cool. And I've gotten cash back on my Hilton purchases, and I've got pending cash back on my Princess cruises that I've taken. They don't give you the cash back on your cruises until you've completed the cruise, so just be aware of that. So, 399 thumbs up. One more. Who's going to be 400? Who's going to be 400? Who's going to be 400? Hakeem's in the house. Hakeem, you're the Rockets fan. Hey, Kevin, just tuning in. Any good buffet? Yeah, so the buffet on here is great. It's small, but what they do on this Royal ship, which is Enchantment of the Seas, is phenomenal. So I'll give you an example. So on the last couple cruise ships I've been on, they always have corn dogs, for kids and stuff. And they're the corn dogs like you can go buy at the Piggly Wiggly or Schnucks or Lion Foods, whatever's in your area. On here, they have corn dogs that they dip in cornbread batter and then fry. I haven't had those since like I went to like a fair or something, and it was so good. It was such a good corn dog. And it's like that with everything. They had like crab cakes. Their desserts are next level good. I would say they have the best dessert so far of any ship I've been on, of all the ships. And Princess had some good desserts, and so did MSC. But I would say the best ones are on here. They're good. Even though the windjammer on here is really small because this is an old ship, the galley, the buffet is set up really well to where it's not like crowded all the time like it was on MSC. Even though their buffet was huge, it was always lines on anything that was good on the buffet. But yeah, the buffet setup on here is great. And they don't have a ton of choices, but what they do have is top notch. 407 likes, yeah! Yeah! Thanks guys. Rakuten also is a pro baseball team in Japan. That's good to know. Let's get Kevin to 100K. Yeah, man. When I first started doing the cruise content, man, I was getting like 300-400 new subscribers a day, but now it's back down to like 20. So it could take me a long time to get to 100K. It took me a year to get to 1,000 subscribers. It took me 2 years to get to 10,000 subscribers. So you never know. YouTube is up and down, up and down, up and down with subscribers. But yeah, we're getting close to 100K. I can't wait until you do a food video. I did a food video, man. Calvin, go check out my Puerto Rico video. I think you did check it out. Where I ate mofongo in Puerto Rico. I did that, man. I did that specifically for you, man. You better not have missed that. He should have been 100K because his content is great. Aw, Angela, you're too kind. Thank you so much. MSC's top premium drink package was great. Royal's nearly as good. P&O's drinks package is the worst. Yeah, so I don't really drink that much alcohol. I don't drink enough to justify any drink package. I've done the math on all of them, and you would need to drink at least 6 alcoholic beverages a day. I will say that the cocktails on MSC were great. You know what I loved about MSC Meraviglia? One of the things I really loved about it was the pub. I sat in that pub, and it was great. They have a really good IPA in there. I drank so many cool areas on there that should have seating where you can sit. Like this ship, I don't care where I'm at, there's good seating. On MSC, they got that big long corridor that you always see in the videos with the video screen. So we're just sitting there except for the chocolate restaurant, and they have limited seating. And like that whole area should be like cafe style seating, and there should be like live music playing out there to watch. There is some, but not a lot. They just miss an opportunity on like good area. Like there's not a whole lot of good hangout areas on there on MSC Meraviglia, in my opinion, or at least there weren't for me. What's this, Venga Boys? Is that who this is? Man, this is some throwback stuff here. When I lived in Europe, this song was really popular. Let's see. How's the nightly band been? Oh, it's been good. It's this Filipino band, and the singer's so good. She's such a good singer. If I missed your question, please ask it again. Where in the world are you right now? I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. Have the cruise lines become more eco and labor conscious and responsible? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of efforts. Obviously, they have a lot of things that hotels do, like they say, you know, only throw your towel on the floor if you want it washed, things like that. I think they could do better on the labor front, probably. Working on a ship is hard. You know, I was in the Navy for 20 years. Working on a ship is a hard life, so you should really get paid for it. Although when I was in the Navy, I didn't get paid a lot when I was young and junior. But yeah, it seems like they are. I know the first liquid gas ship just went into service. So yeah, I think they're moving that way. Were you on Meraviglia when the male worker was caught filming? Yeah, I was actually on that cruise. I didn't know about it at the time, but afterwards I saw that post. Yeah, that's disturbing. That was disturbing. I don't blame MSC Meraviglia for that, you know, like, I mean, that kind of stuff just happens, you know, like, I mean, if it happened repeatedly, you know, obviously be concerned, but yeah, I'm glad that lady caught that guy. For those who don't know, some guy was in the ladies' bathroom and filming like underneath the stalls. That's bad enough. The really bad thing about it is it was right next to the children's play area. So it's probably where the kids would come and use the bathroom. So yeah, yikes. You walked around yet in Charleston? No, I'll be back here 2 more times on this cruise ship. So today I knew I was doing this live stream and I needed to edit a video this morning. So this is a work day for me. We'll be in Port Canaveral tomorrow. I'll do a lot of walking around Port Canaveral, and we'll be back to Charleston at least twice, I think, maybe 3 times. The music is going to get you demonetized, yeah. Yep, it is what it is. It's part of it. I should have tried to go somewhere where I didn't have music, but that's okay. It is what it is. Royal versus Carnival. So I've only been on one Carnival cruise, and it was 2015. So, and I've only been on a Carnival, a Royal ship for 3 days. So it would be really unfair for me to compare them. And I'm also on the oldest Royal ship. I'm on Enchantment of the Seas. So I think it would be unfair for me to compare Royal. I need to do more Royal ships. I've only done one MSC ship, and I've done 2 Princess ships. 4 Princess cruises, but 2 Princess ships. So what's for dinner? I have no idea. I don't ever look at the menus. whatever. I'll probably go to the buffet anyway, so I don't know. It'll be something yummy. They've always got yummy food on a cruise ship. Any plans to do smaller ships? I mean, I'm on a pretty small ship right now, am I, Travel Addict? I'm on Enchantment of the Seas, but I am looking at booking a river cruise, a Christmas river cruise through Europe, going to all the Christmas markets. Yeah. Can you explain ways to use onboard credit? Does it carry over? So every cruise ship has different policies. Some cruise ships let you use it for everything, like Princess does. Some cruise ships only let you use it for certain things. You have to look at the cruise line and read the fine print. Princess transferred mine over to other cruises when they were back to back. I don't know if it transfers over with gaps. I don't think so, but I've never had cruise credit left over. So I don't think so. I'm not an expert on cruising, guys. I just started cruising. I am living on a cruise ship for at least a year, but I'm new. So a lot of questions I don't have like solid answers for you. I'm sorry. have you seen any pickleball courts? Not on this ship. All the Princess ships have pickleball courts, or they have a basketball court that they convert to pickleball courts. MSC had a basketball court. I did not see pickleball being played on it, but that ship was full of kids, and there was always kids playing basketball. So that might be why. On Princess, there's barely any kids. There's hardly anybody ever playing pickleball. So yeah. Is Derek Floyd doing a show in the main theater? If so, don't miss him. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. Do you have days where you spend the day in your cabin? Only could see one apartment tour. Any other thoughts on that phase of your travel? I travel different every year, Mitch, and this year I'm traveling on cruise ships. I have a bunch of apartment tours, by the way, a ton of them, from my years of travel. Are there any days I just spend in my cabin? Not really. I mean, the other day I wanted to watch Mandalorian, so I went to my cabin and watched Mandalorian, the new season, episode 1. If I feel like sitting around and watching a movie or something, I'll do that. But there's always something going on a cruise ship, and I love live music, so I usually am just looking for the live music. And I will say Royal, I love Royal's app, especially their daily planner. It's the best on any app I've seen so far. MSC was decent. Princess's is terrible. Their app isn't terrible. Their app's great, but their schedule is terrible on their app. They need to steal Royals. Royals is great. Not only can you look at the full day, but you can also pick things that you want, and then it's on your schedule. You can look at just your schedule, the things you've put down. And I love that view. And I can look right away and see when the next live music is, or when the next solo cruisers meetup is, and all that kind of stuff. Is there a discount with infant or 3 years? Hakeem, I think most cruise ships usually have children for free. I'm not 100% because I don't book that way. This is a solo travel channel, so I don't know a whole lot about that. But there are a million cruise channels that are about that stuff, and you'd be able to find it on those channels. Is the internet good on a ship? I've been able to watch YouTube videos on every ship I've been on so far. This ship has Starlink. It seems pretty good. The tests that I've run on it, the numbers aren't good, but it seemed to work really well. Which ship has had the best buffet so far? This ship, Enchantment of the Seas. The food is phenomenal. I would say Princess, Sky Princess is number 2. Number 3 would be, I've only been on 4 cruise ships so far. Number 1 would be Enchantment of the Seas. Number 2 would be Ruby Princess, no, Sky Princess. Number 3 would be Ruby Princess. Number 4 would be MSC Meraviglia. Although MSC Meraviglia's pizza was really good, and they would do a mozzarella bar each cruise, one time on each cruise, and that was phenomenal. Am I going to try Carnival? Yeah, the problem with Carnival, sure, I mentioned this earlier, is Carnival doesn't have the ability to book a lot of longer cruises. It's mostly 7 days and under. They do have some, but when you're trying to, I'm trying to book cruises to match my schedule, they don't have a lot of flexibility. Hey, there's my buddy Emily. She's in Thailand right now, loving life. She's on Phi Phi Island right now, which is amazing. Loving life. She's one of my old school watchers. How you doing, Emily? Where was I going with that? But yeah, so that's why I haven't booked any Carnival cruises yet. They just haven't lined up in my schedule. I did see the Carnival Luminosa is over in Asia when I'm over there, so maybe I'll be able to fit Carnival Luminosa in. I've only been on one Carnival cruise that was in 2015. I am looking for Carnival cruises, but again, it's hard to find cruises over 7 days. And they do have a lot of things throughout the world, but they're more like booze cruises, and that's not really my vibe. But if I can find some and they fit in the schedule, I definitely will. I mean, I own Carnival stock, so yeah. MSC has the best pizza by a mile, so I would disagree with you there, Yos. I would agree with you if I hadn't went to Sky Princess where they have Alfredo's Pizza, which looks like a specialty restaurant, but it actually isn't a specialty restaurant. It is a, anybody can go there for free. It's called Alfredo's Pizza. That was the best pizza I've had on a cruise ship. MSC was second. Now MSC's is on the buffet, and I would say it's the best pizza that you can get in that way. 100% for sure, it's not even close. Their pizza is phenomenal. But I would say that on Sky Princess, Alfredo's is better. Any recommendations for cruises from the West Coast? So I cruised Ruby, I cruised Princess, a Panama Canal cruise out of San Francisco. That was really cool. I'm going to be cruising out of Anchorage, Alaska for 21 days, doing Alaska. Vancouver has a bunch of Alaskan cruises. And then I will jump on, then I'm going from Vancouver to New Zealand. Woo, that's pretty cool. There's a bunch of cruises out of LA, San Francisco, Seattle, and Vancouver. Check out Cruise Plum. You can sort by specific ports that you're leaving on. It's a bunch of Mexican Riviera cruises, a bunch of Panama Canal cruises, a bunch of Alaskan cruises, a bunch of Hawaiian cruises out of LA and San Francisco. Princess does a bunch. And then there's a bunch that go to like Tahiti, and that kind of stuff, and over to New Zealand, Trans-Pacific cruises. Do the ships seem overcrowded? The only ship that seemed overcrowded to me so far was MSC Meraviglia. It was pretty crowded. You can tell who's your old school watchers. They start with question marks. Yeah, I used to tell people to put question marks, and you can do that. That's how I know there's a question. Obviously, I am Travel Addict is an old school. Since you do a lot of back-to-back on the same ship, you get to know the crew. Yeah, you get to know the crew pretty well. Especially for me, I go to the coffee shop every morning. You get to know the coffee people. I go to the solo meetups, which are usually in the same places. So. You get to do that. I get to know them. Obviously, my stateroom person, my cabin steward, and the buffet people you get to know because I do mostly buffet. I don't do a lot of main dining room. I do some, but not a lot. So I don't get to know those people nearly as much. What ships are you on for your Tahiti and New Zealand cruise? I am on Grand Princess. What do you do with your downtime on a ship when you're not film editing? I mean, usually I try to go find some live music. I do 20,000 steps a day, so a lot of times you'll see me walking on the weather decks when they're open. If not, you'll see me walking on whatever the main deck is. You can walk from front to back of the ship. So in the mornings, you'll always see me walking, and then I'll be hitting up live music and going to all the trivia. You can burn a lot of time on a cruise ship. The other day they had a dessert making class that I saw. I wish I would have took it, but I didn't know they were having it. San Francisco Boat Cruising says, I love the Grand Princess. I'm excited about the Grand Princess. I like the older, smaller ships. So, do these cruises require any special documentation aboard? Most will require your passport. As a U.S. citizen, you can. You can do passport or birth certificate, but I would that's a dangerous game to play. But yeah, I think there's a bunch of dolphins out here, so people are checking out the dolphins. So, do you notice you're on a ship swaying back and forth? When you're at sea, I mean, you can feel it sometimes, but these ships are so big, they have thin stabilizers which keep the ship stable. I mean, most of the time you don't even know. It's great for sleeping though. Any cruises booked on Discovery? Not Discovery so far. So I've been on Sky Princess, Ruby Princess. I have upcoming cruises on Sky Princess, Regal Princess, Island Princess, and Grand Princess. So, and probably Sun Princess. I'll be booking Sun Princess soon. I ran out of future cruise credits. If I had future cruise credits, I would already be booked on Sun Princess. But I'm going on Caribbean Princess too, coming up. So I'll be on Caribbean Princess in April. And I'm on Caribbean Princess in April. And I want to buy a bunch more future cruise credits. Have you considered Diamond Princess cruising in Japan? Yeah. I've looked at many of those cruises. I'm booked all the way to October 17th when I get to New Zealand. Then I'm flying to Thailand because I've got I have a 20-year visa in Thailand, and I have driver's license there, and it expires in October, so I need to redo my driver's license. Once I get that renewed, I'll be hopping on other cruise ships. I'll probably do, because I've been on nothing but Princess cruise ships for like 5 months, I'll probably do Symphony of the Seas for Royal Caribbean out of Singapore, but I'll probably do some Discovery Princess and do the whole like Tokyo thing. They do have some cruises that are bouncing from Tokyo with Princess from Tokyo to Singapore, Singapore to Tokyo, so you might see me on those. Could you do a follow-up video from your last how to find and earn cruise credits? Yeah, I mean, I just did that video, so like that's, the main one, but yeah. Yeah, it's not a nudist cruise. I mean, it's too cold for me. I'm in long sleeve and these people are in swimsuits. I couldn't do that right now. It's too cold. It's like 60, let's see. It's 65 degrees, but they were in the hot tub. Is your Thailand visa the elite visa? I may end up getting it. Yeah, I have the Thai elite visa. I started off with the 5-year, but now I have the 20-year. So I can come and go in Thailand as I please. Only thing I have to worry about administratively when I go there is the 90-day report, but Thai Elite does it for you, so I really don't have to worry about it. If you have any questions, please re-ask them. I caught up on the bottom, but I probably missed some questions, so ask them again. So no need to show medical documents. Most cruise ships now don't require any medical documents. All they do is they'll give you a questionnaire asking you if you had a cough or runny nose and stuff like that in the last 10 days. But check your cruises if you're going overseas, because some overseas places like Australia, places like that still require you to be vaccinated, so make sure you check. Old school NYC question, would you recommend visiting Chelsea Market? Hell yeah. Am I a Navy shellback? I'm a golden shellback, son. I am a golden shellback. Who knows what a golden shellback is? So who knows what a shellback is first? And then who knows what a golden shellback is? So I will be going, there will be a shellback ceremony on the Grand Princess, but I'm already a shellback, a golden shellback as a matter of fact. So I'm going to see if I can participate. So who knows what the difference between what a shellback is and then what is the difference between a shellback and a golden shellback? Who knows that? Who can answer that question? What ports are you most looking forward to? All the ports in Iceland, all the ports in Norway, Pago Pago, all the Tahitian ports I'm going to go to, America Samoa, yeah. Purple called me Craig, said cross the equator 100 times. So for those that don't know, yeah, so a shellback means you cross the equator. If you cross the equator in the date line, you're a golden shellback. All right, I'm all caught up. If you have any questions, ask them. We got 233 people in here still. We're at 428 thumbs up. Can we get to 450? If you haven't smashed it, smash it. Midsummer's in the house. If you missed it, what are your ports on this cruise? Looking forward to anything new this cruise. So we're in Charleston, South Carolina. That's a new port. I'm on an 8-day, a 12-day, and then an 8-day on this ship. So back to back to back. The 8-day, we're going to Charleston, Port Canaveral, Nassau, Bahamas, and Grand Bahama. Then we're going back to Baltimore. Then we're going to all the saints, St. Kitts, St. Martin, St. everything. And then after that, we're coming back to Baltimore again, and then we're doing something similar, South Carolina, Port Canaveral, but we're going to Royal Caribbean's private island called Coco Cay, and then we're going to some other places too, but I can't remember what they are. Question, how is the Windjammer? It is great, Christy. I'm so impressed. I'd always heard great things about the Windjammer. I'm on an old ship. This ship was built in 1997. The Windjammer, it's phenomenal. It's on the very front of the ship, so you have amazing views when you're eating. Very front of the ship. And even though it's a small buffet, it's very well organized, so it's always easy to get your food. And even though they don't have a huge amount of choices, the choices they have are super, super high quality. I talked about this earlier, I'll say it one more time, I know I'm gonna bore some people, but I'll give you a for instance. So on all the other cruise ships, they've had corn dogs, usually in the kids section, and it'll be the same corn dogs that you can buy at the Piggly Wiggly, whatever grocery store you use, Schnucks if you're from the Midwest like me, Kroger. On here, the corn dogs are actually dipped in cornbread batter and fried. So they're fresh and they look like those ones you get at the fairs, they're all odd shape and everything, and they're really good, really yummy. And that's just an example. They had crab cakes here the other night. They always have flank steak and stuff like that. So I've been super impressed with the Windjammer. Any bad weather coming, or since you started your cruises? I did get one, I've gotten 2 cruise ports canceled so far, Costa Maya, but I've been there multiple times, so it's not a big deal. And Princess Key, their private island beach area got canceled. So I've never been to Princess Key, which sucks. But yeah, that's the only stuff that's been canceled so far. And that was due to wind, not really waves. But what's the worst dish you've eaten on this? Whoop. Sorry, my low power thing just came on. I still got a lot left, 20%. So we'll go for a little bit longer. So if you got a question, throw it out there. What's the worst dish you've eaten on this ship? The worst? I haven't eaten anything bad on here. I'm very selective about what I eat. And the great thing about a cruise ship is most of the food's included. So if you don't like it, you take a bite and it sucks, don't eat it. Like, don't waste your calories eating something you don't thoroughly enjoy on a cruise ship. I know it's like, oh, you're wasting food. They cooked it anyway. So. I bet those corn dogs are amazing. They were amazing, Christy. How about stopping by Savannah? I don't think we're stopping by Savannah, but we will be sailing by Savannah. So, the name Piggly Wiggly always cracks me up. Yeah, me too. That's why I always say Piggly Wiggly first. I lived in Virginia. We had Piggly Wigglies and Lions. And I think Atlanta crossings require vaccination. Maybe they do. I'm vaccinated in 2 boosters and I've had it twice, so that's not something I think about. But yeah, always check with your cruise that you're going on, see what the requirements are. They'll always tell you before you pay, like make sure you read the fine print. But they're pretty upfront about it. Yeah, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, that would be awesome. If you're just watching and you haven't subscribed, we're closing in on 99,000 subscribers, and then we'll be closing in on 100K, so that's amazing. I would like to hit 100K on Enchantment of the Seas, but maybe it won't be till, I think I have 1,700 more subscribers before I hit 1,000 or 100,000 subscribers. So maybe we'll hit it on Enchantment of the Seas. It'd be awesome, especially if I'm at special day, or what is it? Amazing day at Coco Cay, perfect day at Coco Cay. What's the best viewing spot on this ship? So I would say the Windjammer, actually. It's right on the very front of the ship. Also, the Viking Lounge on here is pretty cool. I don't have access to the Diamond Club Lounge, but it's just above the Viking Lounge, so I'd assume it's about the same. But, one of the things I didn't like about MSC Meraviglia is it's so closed off from the sea, because there's not a whole lot of windows on the main decks, because they have this really pretty, all this really pretty stuff, but you don't feel connected to the sea. You can't really see it. On this ship, I don't care where you are. you can see the sea. All the decks have huge portholes or windows like this one. I mean, this window goes all the way down to the deck, you know. So you really feel connected to the sea on this ship. So yeah, I mean, almost anywhere on the ship, you're gonna have beautiful views. On Princess, so they have coffee creamers. They did not have coffee creamers on Princess, but they do on MSC Meraviglia. So that's another positive about MSC Meraviglia. They had hazelnut, French vanilla, and the original for the, you know, the ones that come in the big pumps. How do you keep an eye on your rentals while you travel? I only have one rental property now, and my uncle lives in it, so I'm not like super stressed about it. How would you compare the gym on this ship to MSC? So let's rank the gyms on the 4 ships I've been on. Number 1 would be Sky Princess. Number 2 would be MSC Meraviglia. Number 3 would be Regal Princess, and number 4 would be this ship. This ship was built in 1997. Can't compare this ship to all those ships that are way newer. So yeah, it's okay on here. It's got enough stuff for you to get it done. Would you stop in the Tybee Island vicinity? I don't know what that is. I would, but we're not that I know of. Have I crossed the international date line? Yes. Equator and international date line, which is why I'm a golden shellback. Say something good about MSC Meraviglia. I'm sailing with her in August. I have. I've been saying a ton of good stuff about MSC Meraviglia. Let me tell you what I loved about MSC Meraviglia. I loved the main dining room. The food is great. The pizza is phenomenal. They have this mozzarella de buffalo night where they have all these different flavors of mozzarella. So good. The pub on there is great. I love it. The cabins are nice. The bathrooms are the best I've ever seen on a cruise ship. By far, 100% the best. The stateroom stewards were nice. The rest of the customer service needs improvement. But I think that's more of a staffing issue. I think they're just undermanned. The live music was great on there. It just wasn't happening often enough for my taste. Most cruise ships I'm on, there's almost live music all the time going on somewhere. And on there, I would have to hunt for it. What else did I love about MSC? I love that they matched my status and gave me the highest status you can get. MSC is a good. MSC Meraviglia is a good cruise ship. I had just come off Sky Princess, which I think is a phenomenal cruise ship, and so. But I think it's great. I had an amazing time on there, but there are some things that I was like, they could do this better. Like there's things they could do so much better on there that would just make it phenomenal. The cruise ship is beautiful. The gym is phenomenal, like I mentioned. They got a bowling. They got a bowling alley on that freaking ship. McKenna just gave me a $10 super chat for food for coffee. Thanks. They are expensive on here. There's at least $6 because they have a Starbucks, and the coffee package does not include the Starbucks coffee. And I want white chocolate mochas, so I didn't get a coffee package. I'm glad he didn't pay for it in advance. I'd have been really pissed off. Tybee Island is off the coast of Georgia. Yeah, we're not pulling into there, but we will, I'm sure, be passing it. What would you be doing if you weren't traveling and YouTubing? Weren't traveling and YouTubing? I'd be miserable. Well, if I wasn't traveling, I'd be miserable. YouTube, I enjoy doing it, but it's not something I need to do. But if I wasn't traveling I'd probably be living in DC, being a lawyer, DC or New York. Hey Kevin, we have a 180-day limit for being out of Canada, thus shortening our travel plans, not counting individual country visa maximum stays. So you have some USA rules. USA doesn't really have any clock for you being out of the country. because they get their tax money regardless, because we're like one of two countries that doesn't matter how much foreign time you have, you have to file federal income tax. Yeah, I'm always cognizant of like being in Schengen, especially. But yeah, most of the time I'm country hopping, so I'm not staying anywhere longer than the tourist visa time, so I'm usually not too worried about it. I am interested how cruise ship time costs for the Schengen, counts for Schengen, but I will be cruising out of England, and I get 6 months in England. Like I'll be cruising out of Southampton, mostly in Europe, so I get 6 months there, and I'm not staying for 6 months. I'm only there for 3 months. If you ask a question I missed it, please ask it again. Are you missing van life? I was only part-time, but gutted. I sold my Sprinter, but meant I could travel to Asia. Yeah, so I am like, I miss van life. I'm definitely going to do it again. I miss living in Thailand. I'm definitely going to do it again. When I leave cruising, I'll probably miss cruising. I miss traveling with remote year, living in a different country I always miss that stuff. So yeah. But I do plan on buying another van and building it out, something smaller. Are there any roller rinks on any of the ships? There's not roller rinks that I've heard of. I know some of the Royal Caribbean ships have ice skating rinks. This one does not, but some of them do. But I haven't heard of any roller rinks on a cruise ship. But there are ice skating rinks on some of the Princess ships, or not Princess, Royal Caribbean ships. Could you suggest any cruise lines that go through the Philippines? I just saw, go to Cruise Plum, like the fruit plum, and when you go to the search engine, you can search by ports that it visits, and you'll be able to select the Philippines, and you'll be able to find all the cruises that port visit in the Philippines. I have seen some though. Is there nightly entertainment on board Royal Caribbean? Yeah, every night. There's multiple things going on. There's something going on at all times. There's trivia, there's shows, there's live music. There are knitters and natters, which are the knitters that get together and knit. Tons of different things. There's always something going on a cruise ship. Yeah. I'm wanting to see pickleball court. I haven't seen one on this ship, but this is an old ship from 1997. If you could go look at some of my Princess videos, you'll see pickleball courts set up on the basketball court. Almost every Princess ship I've been on has a basketball court, full court, and nobody plays basketball on them, so they turn them into pickleball courts. Hey, we're almost at 450 thumbs up. We're 2 away. If you don't mind smashing the thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. Kevin, are you an introvert or extrovert? I'm very much an introvert. I have a lot of videos about me being an introvert and traveling. I'm very much an introvert. I am far on the spectrum on the introvert side. Do you miss being a lawyer? Yeah, I miss being a lawyer for sure. Not a corporate lawyer, but I miss being a juvenile defense attorney. All right, if you have any questions, throw them in there, and I'll be sure to answer them. I'm going to do this live stream just a little bit longer. We've still got 198 people here. That's amazing. We have still 200. We got up to 306, which was awesome. I know the West Coast is, just getting up on Sunday, so if you have any questions, throw them out there. If I missed yours, I wasn't avoiding it on purpose. Sorry if you asked this a lot, but are there a lot of single people on the cruises? Yeah, I've met a lot of solos. Most cruise ships' solo programs aren't very good. This ship has been awful, actually. But you meet them out there. I always recommend whatever cruise you're going on, type the name of the ship and then put the date you're going. So let's say like this ship's Enchantment of the Seas. If you put Enchantment of the Seas 3 through 11 March, you'll find this cruise ship's Facebook page. And there's 300 people on that Facebook page for this cruise that I'm on right now. And so you can meet people that way. A lot of the solos will be on that Facebook page. Am I considering any of the mega ships for Royal Caribbean? Yeah, I'll be on Symphony of the Seas when I'm in Asia. The biggest reason I haven't been on them so far is the cruises are really short, and I don't like short cruises. I like being on a ship for a long time, and they're just expensive. Royal Caribbean is expensive. Until you get 350 cruise days, which for a solo would be 170 cruise days because they give us double credit. That's where you get 50% off the solo supplement that they charge. Royal Caribbean is just expensive, to be honest with you, especially for the new ships. I mean, I booked this ship, and this is an old ship. This ship's almost 30 years old, and it was $105 a night or something like that for the 28 days I'm on. I think one of the cruises was $110 a night, and I can be on a brand new Princess ship for that. So, and an MSC ship I can be on for $20 less than that, or $20 a night less than that. So they're just expensive. But I will, especially as I move up the ladder. The good thing is I'm on here 28 days, which will put me on Emerald status, so I'll be really close to getting the Diamond. Diamond is where you start getting the perks on MSC, on Royal Caribbean ships. And then I'll just keep looking for cruises. I'm gonna be on a bunch probably out of Singapore, because that's where Symphony of the Seas is. So I will be on one of their mega ships, Symphony of the Seas, when I'm over there. And then I might be getting on Icon of the Seas. We'll see. I'm working on it. It's so expensive though, which is their brand new ship. I'm 90% sure I'm going to be on Princess's new ship, Sun Princess. 90% sure. I'm going to be on her inaugural cruise. Can you see the lighthouses? No, but I see a lot of buoys in the water, but no lighthouses. What happens if you're denied entry into a foreign port? You mean you as a person? You'll just stay on the cruise ship. I've never heard of that happening. But if you're saying, what if a cruise ship is denied? Then they continue to sail to another port. Hey, Van Vita Travels is in the house. I was on her live stream last night. If you're missing my van live content, go check out Van Vita Travels. She has an ambulance van, which is pretty spectacular. Are you including any Cunard ships? So I'm looking at Cunard cruises. I was going to book the Queen Mary 3, but then I got all these deals, all these really cheap deals on Princess when I was over in Europe. So at the moment, no. But I almost guarantee you I'll get on Queen Mary 3 at some point. Sorry if you missed that. I only have 10% battery left. We need 40 more thumbs up for 500 thumbs up. That will be the first time I've had 500 thumbs up on a live stream ever. So if you haven't smashed it, smash that thumbs up button. How do you keep up with all your cruises? I have a spreadsheet. If you watch some of my older videos, you'll see my spreadsheet. I only have like 10, 12 cruise videos, and on my early ones, I show it. Yeah, I'm in Charleston, South Carolina at the moment, peeps. I'll be in Port Canaveral tomorrow, near Orlando, and then I'll be heading to Nassau, Bahamas, and then Grand Bahama. Hakeem said, I've noticed most of the cruises out of California are over 100 a night. Yeah, check with Cruise Plum, and you can sort them by price. There's only really a couple cruise lines that cruise out of California. Princess is probably the main one. So there's not a lot of competition. There's no MSC ships over there because that would drive down the cost because MSC is driving down the cost a little bit. But maybe they'll put I bet you they put a cruise ship over there for too long. Are you considering cruises to Australia and New Zealand? Ask retired Butcher Boy. I've already got one booked, homie. I'm going to be on Grand Princess for 42 days, 21 days, Alaskan cruise. Then we're headed over to Auckland, New Zealand. We're stopping in Tahiti and all those places. I own around Australia cruise, but I got to fly to Thailand because I got to renew my Thailand driver's license because it expires in October, and I'm not going to let that thing expire. It was too much of a pain in the ass to get. And I can fly over there, or I'm going to fly from New Zealand to Thailand, get that, and then. But you'll probably see some Australia added into there because I'll probably do a bunch of cruises out of Singapore, and then I'll take a cruise from Singapore to Tokyo. I'll do a bunch of around Japan stuff, and then I'll take a trip from Tokyo to Australia, and I'll do around Australia cruise. It's like a 28-day one I'm eyeing. Looks very tasty, so that's probably what'll happen. And then we'll come back to the States, and I'll probably head over back to Europe and do Sun Princess. The advantage for being a veteran for cruises. So every cruise line is different on what they give. Princess gives onboard credit. MSC and Royal Caribbean give 5% off for military and veterans, and Norwegian gives 10% off. Those are the ones I know off the top of my head for sure. It's really easy. Just send them your TD214 and it lasts for like life. Like Princess always gives me my onboard military credit. So, and Norwegian always gives me 10% off. MSC and Royal Caribbean give me my 5% off. So it's been pretty good. If you discover that Gary Busey was the captain of the ship, would you abandon the ship? Maybe. I love Gary Busey, though. I'd probably go say hi and hang out with him. Princess and NCL leave out of LA. Some others leave out of Long Beach. Okay, there should be some leaving out of San Francisco as well, and then all the way up to Seattle and Vancouver. Yeah, if you haven't smashed that thumbs up button, we are 31 away from 500 thumbs up, which would be a first for me. And I'm running out of batteries, so what's the best line for solo cruisers? Depends on what you're looking for. All of them that I've been on so far suck at solo meetups. MSC was the best. It depends on what you're looking for. I haven't been on Norwegian yet, which is supposed to be the really good one for solo cruisers, so I can't make an educated guess on it. But all of my cruises have been great for solo cruising. They just suck at solo meetups. What do you know about Piggly Wiggly, man? I lived in the South in the military. I was stationed in Virginia. I know all about Piggly Wiggly. I'm from Missouri, though, so we have Kroger's and Schnucks. Mostly Schnucks. Do I always get off the ship when I'm in port? Not always, but most of the time I do. If you go solo, you're going to pay double occupancy. That's not true. I've never paid double occupancy. I've got 20-something cruises booked. I've never once paid double occupancy. That is a total myth, but I'm going to be honest with you. The word double occupancy and solo supplement, they don't tell you what the real cost of a cruise is for a solo cruiser. Go watch my last video. I go in depth about that, but don't worry about paying double occupancy. That's not a good indicator whether a cruise is cheap or not for a solo because it varies based on the cost of the cruise. Go check out my video, you'll see why those are terrible indicators. The best indicator for you to figure out if your cruise is a good deal or not is cost per day after you pay gratuities. Do you explain the previous videos how you book back to back on the same ship? I don't explain how I book back to back, but I have videos on how I book cruises. And usually I just open up multiple browsers to try to get the same cabin. Sometimes you can't get the same cabin, and that's okay with me. Whatever, I'll have to switch cabins. Whatever. But yeah, that's how I do it. I'll just open multiple browser windows up, and I'll pick my cabin and make sure I get the same one on all of them if I can, and then I'll book, and then I'll be in the same cabin. That's how I do it. With Princess, you can book a lot of multiple cruises as one cruise, so they'll have like a 14-day cruise, but you can book it as a 14-day cruise, but really it's 2 7-day cruises, but you can book it all as a 14-day cruise. Not only is it cheaper, but also you're guaranteed to stay in the same cabin. So Princess is great for booking. A lot of other cruise lines, I wish they would do that. MSC does it as well. But yeah, we are 24 thumbs up away from 500, and I gotta leave really soon because I'm running out of battery. So if you haven't smashed that thumbs up, smash that thumbs up. A great West Coast cruise. I just finished in October, Vancouver, San Francisco, Catalina, Los Angeles. That sounds like an amazing cruise. Yep, that's the USS Yorktown behind me, right there. Great to see you again. So do you feel happier and healthier living on van life or cruise ships? Both of them I felt healthy, but a cruise ship has gyms and it has a lot, like I just walk on this thing all the time. I take the stairs. I get over 20,000 steps almost every single day. It's been phenomenal. It's an LHA actually. I mean, it still carries aircraft, so most people will call it an aircraft carrier. But yeah, although it might be I think Yorktown is a World War II, so it could actually launch aircraft probably. They were much smaller back then, aircraft carriers. Can you fly a drone off a cruise ship? Some cruise ships have rules where you can't. I think some let you. I don't carry a drone with me anymore because they're more of a pain in the ass than anything else. If you go solo, you're going to pay double. Oh, I already answered that. You eat better on a cruise ship? Yeah, I actually eat way better. If you guys haven't watched my video how I lost 9 pounds on a cruise ship, go check it out. I explained that I eat way better on a cruise ship. What ship am I on? I'm on Enchantment of the Seas, but unfortunately, I am running out of battery. If you haven't smashed the thumbs up, please smash it. 17 away. 17 away from 500. I want to get to 500. I've never got to 500 on a live stream. That'd be so awesome. If you met the love of your life and she was allergic to merino wool, would you choose her over merino wool? That's a great question. I probably would. I mean, love of my life, come on. I'd hate to do that to Unbound Merino, but yeah, I'd have to. I probably would. If she wasn't the love of my life, though, you got to go. You got to go. If we're just dating and you don't like merino wool, you're out. I just got 24,000 steps the other day on my last cruise. There you go. Solo Cruising and More is still in here. If you haven't subscribed to her channel, she's a new solo cruise channel. There ain't very many of us solo cruise specific channels out there. Make sure you subscribe to her channel. How many subscribers are you up to now? She's getting this close to 100 if she doesn't have it already. So make sure you go over and subscribe to her. We got 212 people here. If all of you are not subscribed to her, by the end of this live stream, she should have 212 at least. I met her, by the way, I met her on MSC Meraviglia. I met a couple YouTubers. I met Para DJ, who I've been watching forever, and I love their YouTube channel. And I met Solo Cruising and More on that ship. So, and they were phenomenal. I never saw Solo Cruising and More again. Well, that's not true. I saw her one more time with her son. But I never got to sit down and talk with her. Para DJ, I ran into them again. We sat down and talked for like an hour and a half. Had a great conversation. Is Princess still the best for self-laundry? Yeah, it's the only cruise ship I've been on with self-laundry. Around your neck, is that a key? Yeah, this is my cruise key, and I got a Jimmy Buffett. I'm a huge Jimmy Buffett fan. And at Margaritaville in Cozumel, that's what it says, Margaritaville, Cozumel, or it says, yeah, Margarita Cozumel. But it has one of my favorite songs by Jimmy Buffett, A Pirate Looks at 40. It says, yes, I am a pirate, 200 years too late. The cannons don't thunder, there's nothing to plunder. I'm an over 40 victim of fate. It's hard to sing that song with my Sharona playing in the background. Does every cruise have live jazz? Most of them. Sky Princess has most princess ships have a jazz lounge. Kevin, I miss Ruby. Me too. I really miss Ruby. I saw Ruby in port in Cozumel the other day. It was awesome. All right, guys, I've got to go, even though I only need 11 more thumbs up, because I'm going to run out of battery life, and I don't want this live stream to shut off like that. So if you haven't smashed it, smash it on the way out. I appreciate I got a ton of super chats, so I can't thank you all individually, but thanks for all the super chats. Thanks, Kaylee, for gifting memberships again. Like, thank you, that was phenomenal. Everybody take care. I'll try to do this next Sunday if I can, but if not, look out for my live streams. I'll be putting another video out on probably Tuesday time frame, where I'll be comparing MSC's inside cabin to Princess's inside cabin. Spoiler alert, Princess's inside cabin is better, but MSC's bathroom is way better. I wish we could combine the two cabins, and then we'd have the perfect cruise ship cabin. 5 more to go. 5 more to go to 500. If you haven't smashed that thumbs up, smash it. We're almost at 500. I'm running out of battery. I gotta go. Take care, everybody.